Hello and welcome everybody to the North American Go4GW2 Cup number 44. I am Storm and with me as always is Heurix today. How are you doing?
Absolutely fantastic, man. How about yourself?
I am doing great. Today we are looking at 10 teams in today's tournament. We haven't had 10 teams in 14 weeks participate in a North American ESL, so that is quite some time. I'm really excited to look at these teams today, all battling it out for a total prize pool of $500, 400 going to first, 100 to second place. Before we actually get started with this, do you want to give us a rundown of these teams that we have on our hand in these matches?
Oh man, we have so many today. Of course, we have the Abjured up top. We have a couple of teams coming back, actually. Of course, Soak's going to be coming back. They're running with a different name. It's going to be Team Clan Guild with the tag TCG there. And we also have Spoookie coming back. They're going to be on some interesting characters. Hopefully, get to see them today at some point. Our first matchup of the day is going to be E-Dream versus Just Couldnt Finish, and that is going to be a stellar matchup, if I do say so myself. And we, of course, also have Radioactive and ASAP Zerg. I mean, there's just a ton of teams coming back right now. I mean, 10 teams. We haven't had that in a long time, man.
Yeah, definitely. So, and I want to point out, we do have a team today. We haven't seen members play in quite some time. Just Couldnt Finish, I believe their name is. Or it's actually Don't Touch Me there. It is actually consists of 3 out of the 5, at least, you know, a couple of them were subs of Good Fights. I've heard that rumors that Good Fights are coming back. So really looking forward to seeing them play today, possibly later on in the matches. But like you said, our first matchup today will be Don't Touch Me there. If I'm not, I think that's their name. No, it's Just Couldnt Finish. Those two, I'm getting kind of mixed around there. Just Couldnt Finish up against E-Dream. And both these teams have members who we've seen them in tournaments before. Obviously, E-Dream has participated in the past few tournaments, working their way up to a 3 seed today. So really looking forward to this first matchup. Any insight on this one?
Oh, this is, like I said before, going to be an awesome matchup. I mean, this is a team, this E-Dream team has been kind of coming in the past 2 weeks, and it's still kind of a new team, but they've been doing very well so far. Last week they didn't have, I believe, Bert and Kenya, so they were using substitutes, but they still did quite a good job. And this time around, they do have their full roster, if I'm not mistaken. So it's going to be interesting to see what they can bring to the table for the first time on stream as a full team. But you know, we do have this other extremely strong roster. Just
Yeah.
Couldnt Finish. It has a bunch of people that we are very well aware of. I think actually 2 players that were on eStream last week with RAR and stuff like that. But it's 2 pretty strong rosters that are still very new teams that I think are going to do quite well today.
Yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at our first matchup that we have for you guys. Like we said, E-Dream over here on the red team. We've got Just Couldnt Finish, JCF, abbreviated for you guys. Over on the blue team, do you want to go ahead and take us away with the E-Dream roster that we have here?
All right, first up, we are going to have Suicune here, and he's going to be playing Dagger Elementalist here, and he's going to be on Rune of the Holbrack and Celestial Amulet, of course, with Fire, Water, and Arcane. I do want to iterate, if we haven't already, that Elementalist actually cannot be using Vamp Runes today, and also there will be no class stacking. You have to have 3 different classes in your roster for this matchup today that we're trying out. So once again, that is going to be a Dagger Elementalist with Rune of the Holbrack, as opposed to what you might see normally of the Rune of Vampirism because of that bug that is going on right now. However, moving down onto Bert here, he is going to be playing Mesmer today, going to be playing Sword Torch, Great Sword with Rune of the Vampirism there, Marauder Amulet. He's going to be playing with Chaos, Dueling, and Inspiration for his setup there. Definitely an interesting setup. Looking now at Eternity, he's going to be on Warrior for us today. He's going to be running Sword Warhorn and Longbow, so that old Shoutbow classic. Rune of the Soldier and Settler Amulet here with Defense, Discipline, and Tactics as his loadout. Next up, we do have Kenya. Kenya's going to be on the Rifle NG here. He's going to be on Soldier Amulet and Rune of the Vampirism. That setup is going to be Explosives, Alchemy, and Inventions there, and he is actually opting for that Mortar kit as opposed to the Elixir X that we've seen so much of. And finally here we do have Hero, the hero himself. He's going to be on Great Sword, Longbow here today with Marauder, Rune of the Traveler, Wilderness Survival, Nature Magic, and Beast Mastery as his trait setup.
Yeah, so this is fairly standard stuff coming out from E-Dream. If I'm not mistaken, this is the first time we've seen all 5 members of E-Dream in the ESL on stream here. So finally I get to see all 5 of them in action. No subs coming out from them. Really excited for this one. Taking a look at Just Couldnt Finish, though, that would be over here on the blue team. We've got Wonderkins going to be playing DD with the whole Rune, Selling Amulet, running Fire, Water, and Arcane. Stalacta going to be playing the second DD for this team with Strength Runes and Celestial Amulet, running Fire, Water, and Arcane for himself. pretty similar to that of Wonderkins. Rainbowkins, that would be Karina, going to be playing Dagger Warhorn with that staff, Strength Runes, Selly Amulet playing the triple Signet Selly build that we see Nos running. Pretty standard stuff now nowadays. And Wombakins would be Amon, going to be playing DP with the Shortbow, Vampirin's Marauder Amulet, taking Shadow Arts. Pretty standard coming out from him as well. And finally, Thunderkins, that is Bear, going to be playing, looks like PU Mez with that Sword, Torch, Greatsword. Looks like Zerker Runes with the Vampirins, or Vampirins with the Zerker Amulet, rather, running PU with Dueling and Domination. So fairly standard stuff coming out from both these teams. Nothing that, we didn't really expect to come from them. But, full roster on E-Dream. Pretty strong roster coming out from this red team. Just couldn't finish. I'm pretty sure this is their full roster as well. Really think this is going to be a really good matchup, don't you?
I have to completely agree. I'm looking forward to this matchup starting already here. I mean, we saw last week Hero 1v1 Ready-Made's Warrior Crisis while he was in Rampage, so I'm really looking forward to seeing what the Ranger can do here. I mean, we know that taunt is so strong, so I'm really looking forward to seeing what that can accomplish. Burt on Mesmer today. And I mean, this is definitely going to be pretty exciting, and this is the first time I believe we're seeing Just Couldn't Finish and an ESL Cup with this team roster here, so that's going to be interesting as well to see what they can come out with. But I mean, this is going to be a good one in my opinion.
Yeah, and like I said, this is the full Just Couldn't Finish. This is a new roster. I hope to see an ESL, week after week. We've been seeing E-Dream come back now, and I think they've really proven themselves how well they did against Radioactive last week. Didn't pull out a win, but they did fairly well against, arguably the second best team on NA at this current point in time. But game number one, about to be underway here. Just waiting for the last few seconds to come down here. Looks like we're going to have crosses for both teams. Just Couldn't Finish going to be sending 3 out of that side gate there. We only have 1 coming out there for this E-Dream roster. It's going to be Kenya. Kenya might be spiked down here. They're just going to let him go through and play the 3-point strat. So we're going to have 3-point push coming out from both these teams. What are your thoughts on the opening here?
Yeah, I mean, I'm curious to see what Hero's going to be doing. Looks like he's going to double back for style there, maybe even go towards mid. We are going to be seeing that triple go for that mid there, and already on Burt here. They drop him instantly already here on top of that portal there, so he's in downstate already. This is already a 5v4 right now. Meanwhile, Spoookie kind of taking this 1v1 with style right here, but meanwhile on this mid fight, this is kind of just going to stalemate for a little bit here. It looks like Burt did get back up with that res there, so he's back in it. Looks like he's trying to look for that first kill for their side, but I mean, they need to be careful because since he was already taken down and Wumbo is all over him right now.
Look at Hero. He has absolutely nothing left. His heal's up in another second, but he's going to be taken down there. He had Wombakins. Oh, but the banner from Eternity right in the... I mean, it was right there. It came down as a really good communication coming out there from E-Dream, making sure he's back up into that fight immediately, but still... Like you were about to say, this red team is still under a lot of pressure. That they've used multiple cooldowns just to get their members back up in these fights.
Hero almost dropped once again. This team is all over him today. Hero taking it into the downstate. Looks like they're going to go for that stomp there. That actually, wasn't able to come out. They were able to get the res off. So Hero's back up and into it, and still they're under so much pressure right now. Looks like Kenya is almost about to win this 1v1 over at the Hinge versus Rainbowkins here. Looks like he forced him off the point. They do already have this mind cap here, so it's looking pretty good for them, despite the fact that these team fights are going pretty handily towards this blue team here, with the Mesmer and the Thief just all over, putting pressure down everywhere that they can.
Yeah, there's some really, really good reses coming out there from Burt and Eternity, throwing down that time warp just when they needed it to get Hero back up into the fight. We saw one of the Elementalists for the blue team try to piece out, but was pursued by Elementalists coming out for the red team. Take a look at the Henge, though. Kenya got plussed over here. We saw a portal come out there from Thunderkins. Wombakins came through with him. They're going to actually go back to the portal. Wonderkins was taken out at the midpoint. Get the stomp. They're just going to go back through it once again. More than likely regroup over here at the Henge. After losing the mid fight, probably the best thing they can do right now. Not to get too big of a deficit at the start of this game.
Red team wins.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it looks like they're just gonna kind of hover around Hinge and keep here. It looks like we might see Wumbo open up on Eternity, but Burt's doing a good job of just maintaining the beach side, just making sure that nobody crosses there. We are going to be seeing a little bit of a team fight here at the sort of near the crossroads here in between Hinge and Keep. We actually did see a little bit of decap. Wumbo was able to get over there, get the decap, Burt portaled over, and now it's turning into a little bit of a 1v1 as the team fight does sort of look like it's shifting over towards Keep, as we're actually seeing Wumbo get all over the Warrior here, and it looks like this is going to shift as we do see a downstate Eternity already taken out here already, and this is already going to be a 5v4. I mean, we still see a little bit of pressure on the side of this blue team. It looks like they are kind of looking to to get their health back up, and they do that. So I mean, right now it's looking pretty solid for this blue team. They might be able to turn this one back around.
Oh my
They
gosh!
take out Burt completely.
Burt!
There. Looks like the res is going to connect though.
Yeah, Burt was absolutely obliterated there. Now look at Wumpkins. He's under a lot of pressure here. It looks like Burt's sitting on top of him, knows he is a big threat. The midpoint was actually really never capped for the Red team, or very long for that matter, so they weren't able to get many points of him. Now Wumpkins is going to get on top of Burt. Burt down to about 50% HP, forced to drop behind the keep. Drop down from behind the keep, rather, and he has a lot of people on top of him. Needs some support, but look at Rainbow Kings. He's about to go down. Pops out of the plague into Shroud, but outside of Shroud, he is dead. They need to get on top. They need to be around him immediately once he goes down for that res. Otherwise, that's a free kill for the Red team.
So many burn stacks. That is going to be him in the down state right now. Rainbow Kings looks like they're going to try for the res here. Are they going to be able to get it? Looks like they might actually do it.
Oh, the taunts!
99%, but the cleave is too strong, taking out Wonderkins in the process here. Red team able to swing this fight off of that alone.
Yeah, I think there was a taunt that came out from Hero there that really pulled him off of that res. Like you said, 99% HP there, basically. Got this up. That turned the sway of the fight. That really did, because now the Red team will have this 2-cap at the keep because they're forcing all the blue team out of here. But Kenya needs to be very careful. He has a Thief and a Mesmer coming to him. Hero's on the way, but Hero's not going to be able to support him. He is going to be taken down very quick if he doesn't stay careful.
Yeah, it looks like Kenya is trying to pull out here. He does have that water blast from that mortar kit there. Looks like he's going to go into blocking. But, I mean, look how many people are around him from this blue side. They're probably going to be taking him out in just a matter of time. Looks like he did manage to get saved by that mist form coming from Vampirins there. Able to get back up to about 75% HP. So he's back in it here. Looks like Hero's on the point trying to keep it. But Style was able to hold that cap in the meantime. It looks like it's going to be kind of shifting outwardly towards the keep a little bit, but Kenya did get downstate, able to get back up here from his teammate, getting that res there, but they're still all over him. Look at Wobokins just trying to land a backstab right onto him here, but he's going to pull off. Looks like he might try to go for a decap, but you know, we're already seeing Suicune all over him. Hero was taken into the downstate. Yeah,
but there's a time warp, and the time warp did, I believe that was from Burt. Still got the stomp though. Burt is just gonna, looks like he might go back to that midpoint. We did see Amon attempt for a decap at the midpoint, but Suicune was on top of that, not allowing for that to happen. Now Amon's gonna piece out to the mine point, should be able to get that decap. Especially, I don't know, Hero's coming off a respawn. We'll have to see if he's able to make it there in time. Burt though, about to be taken into the downstate. He's got 3 members of this blue team on top of him. Stealth though, almost gets his mantra off in stealth. He will be taken out here by Wombokins. Or Wonderkins rather, while we see multiple members of this blue team going to be moving into the midpoint. Kenya hasn't reset, so he's going to be in a very, very bad situation.
Yeah, he's trying to take this 1v2 here. Thunderkins all over him. Rainbowkin's able to get this Condi pressure down as well. I mean, he does have 1 second left until he's able to get his heal. He does get the immob, and I don't know if it's going to be enough here. They're still all over him right now. He's going to try to pull off here. If he gets crippled, he needs to be careful.
Yeah,
that's right there. They're going to slow him. That's going to be a kill pretty soon.
I don't know, Vampirins. Saving it for the time being. Will it be enough? He has his heal up again. Can he get it off? He does. He does have shield block as well. Oh, man. Kenya able to mitigate, you know, run around with 2 people on him. Don't even give him the full cap. And now we see Thunderkin's going to piece out to this mine point. Make this a 3v2 situation because the red team over at the Henge made it 2v1. They should be able to take out, I believe that's Stalactid there. They should be able to take that note for themselves. But decap nodes all around the map here. What's going on over at the mine point?
You know, over at the mine point, we are seeing a little bit of a team fight here. Suicune as well as Hero trying to take a 2v2. Actually, sort of 3v2 actually here with Thunderkins and Wonderkins as well on this point. And we are seeing Wumbo pull off right now. Looks like he's going to go over to the mid fight. We are seeing Bird move over as well, so that is going to adjust to a 2v2 there. And Suicune on the point still. This is probably going to stalemate for a little bit. We might see Suicune taken down shortly, but we'll have to see what happens as Thunderkins is dropped a little as well. However, in the meantime, over at this mine fight, we are actually seeing Wumbokins taken down completely down to 10% HP. He is able to get the SR back up at about 30% health now. Looks like Kenya trying to get some AoE down to try to finish the job, but that is not going to happen quite yet.
Yeah, and it looks like Kenya about to be taken down now. Vampirins once again saving him for the time being. Has his heal up, will be enough. He has poison on him. He's not going to be able to use it to full effectiveness. He gets the heal off, but like I said, that poison really did take on him. Now Rainbowkin's going to be on top of him with 100% Shroud. Has no support even near him. His Slick Shoes, though, going to mitigate some of the damage that's coming from. We are going to see the Thief for the blue team come around and spike him down, but Wonderkins was actually taken down over at the mine point, so even if they pick up the kill onto Kenya, it's still going to be even numbers around the map, as it looks like the red team finally clear up the mid fight, or they get the cap on mid and mine. That's a pretty significant 2-cap at this point in the game.
Yeah, I'm surprised the Thief wasn't able to make it up quickly enough to stop that full cap from happening. I mean, he was in range for sure, but Burt taken down so quick there. Thunderkins all the damage in the world there, just dropping Burt so fast. No one really even close enough to be able to get the support there and bring him back up. Hero did just come in, but not quickly enough. Looks like they're going to try to turn the pressure onto him now, as he is on the point solo here. Does have that Signet Stone up, but that's not going to last too much longer here. He looks like he's going to be pulling out. That is going to be the case. Kenya might be able to stay there and provide some support for his teammates.
Yeah, and it looks like that was kind of a necessary pull out there right now. It doesn't even matter if they give up the cap necessarily, because they're still holding on to mine, right? As long as they don't die here, they're going to be in a good situation. But Suicune actually taken down there by Thunderkins with that Mantra of Pain, going to spike him down. Good updraft coming out there, but will be enough. Suicune actually, they performs down there. Hero going in for the res. We are going to see a distortion stop. Oh, the stop does not come out. Oh, it was slowed. Okay, we did see a time warp from Burt. What looked like a stomp from Thunderkins actually came out to help them and get that kill. But still, over at the henge point, that 1v1 going on between Eternity and Stalacta doesn't seem to be going anywhere, as Wonderking gets the decap over at the henge. It feels kind of like a stalemated match, but E-Dream have a decent lead at this point in the game.
Yeah, absolutely. They're doing a pretty good job of maintaining this pressure here, but, you know, looking over at this henge fight, this is going to be stalemated for quite some time. Blue team does have the cap on keep, but it looks like we're going to see another stalemate over on the mine. So unless something can kind of happen with this key point, maybe we might see a decap, or if a team fight can swing very, very quickly. We are seeing Kenya get extremely low right now. There is some pressure on him. Wombokins looks like he's going to try to follow it up, but you know, that Slick Shoes is just proven to be a great tool for him to be able to basically just stay alive in some of these situations where he probably wouldn't otherwise.
Yeah, definitely so. And Kenya back up to a decent amount of HP. Going to force Wonderkins out of this fight, at least for a little bit, to get a few more ticks on the no. We are going to see Rainbowkins come into the fight. Look how much else. 922 HP out of this Shroud. Going about 60% Shroud now. Once he's out of this, he needs his team on top of him for the res. But look at the members of this blue team, or red team, that are over at the mine point. There's no way that they won't have enough cleave for the, the kill. That should be an easy kill right there. But Suicune get pretty low as well. He's going to have to ride the lightning out of this fight for the time being, try and get some heals back up. Rainbowkin's actually taken in the downstate, going in for the stop. Hero gets the stop. That's a pretty good pickup. Red team should be able to wipe up the rest over at the mine point.
Yeah, absolutely. He was able to get that with that Quickening Zephyr there. Getting that quickness stomp. Looks like Wonderkid's trying to get on him right now, but this looks like it's going to be pretty one-sided towards the red team, as they do have that 3v2 in favor of their team here a little bit. We are going to be seeing Suicune actually pull off those. This is going to adjust to a 2v2, probably a stalemated fight again. However, on this midpoint, we are kind of seeing Eternity do quite a good job holding this note. He was getting a couple points towards the cap, but Thunderkid pushed him right off. We are going to be seeing a 2v2 happen over on the henge. In the meantime, we did see that actually go full cap. Burt on the point, looking like he's trying to knock Stal off of this right here. Suicune's going to go ahead and get on there as well. But we are seeing Rainbowkins plus this in the meantime. And he is going to throw so much burn over onto Suicune. Suicune able to get them all off, fortunately enough for him.
Yeah,
this is probably going to be a long fight.
At this point, I don't see any reason for this red team to be able to, fighting this. And since they did get the cap on the keep right now, I think they should peace out to their mine point and to the keep. There's no reason for them to exert their, the people over here. The blue team have to be the ones that are worried about it getting decapped. So they have to keep somebody around the area, at least making sure that it won't get decapped. So I think it would be in E-Dream's best, advantage here to piece out of this fight, and they might be doing that. But over at the mine point, that's where things are really getting interesting, because if blue team takes the 2 cap here, I mean, we only got 3 minutes and 20 seconds left in the game. I would be surprised if this goes down to timer.
I mean, with them getting all over Kenya, and Kenya doing such a good job of basically just trolling them around, and basically just Hero was able to free cast all over this thief from the blue team here, Wombokins, and it looks like that is going to be enough to bring him down. But we did see Thunderkids come in, was able to get the stealth off for his teammate to support, and they're going to pour it right out of that into the mid fight here, as we are going to see them just try to bomb down onto Eternity. Eternity accepting all this damage right now. Is he going to be able to live through this? I'm not quite sure. The EP is going to finish off, and this is going to be the killer of him. He's going to be going downstate here. They're going to finish him off, and they might be able to get this 2 cap onto the keep, because nobody is even near here, and this is that 2 cap you were just talking about.
Yeah, and with this 2 cap, 2 minutes 35 seconds left in the game, this probably will come down to timers. So we watching for the bosses coming out from Wombokins and Thunderkins. They know that they're at a disadvantage here. They are down a significant amount at this point in the game, and maybe a decap coming out here from Suicune. Could it happen? Is Stalacta going to allow for it to happen? Nice updraft, but is it enough? He gets the decap. That is, oh man, that really hurts him. I think he would have died regardless, because he's in a 1v2 situation. He does go into the downstate. Rainbowkin's coming in to support it. Just a little too late though. That 2 cap could have helped them get back into the game, but at this stage, 2 minutes left, I'm not sure it's that.
Yeah,
that is going to happen.
Getting the decap and then taking out Stal in the process here. Ooh, I'm not even sure if they're going to be able to do that. It looks like Wombokins came in with the stealth. He's going to try for some cleave here. SR does come out. I think he's going to be able to nail it. I don't think that they have enough pressure, and they do manage to get Style back up into the fight, and they really needed that kill there because now with Rainbowkins there as well, this is going to be a 2v3 here. Hero taking some pressure right now at about 40% HP. Does have his heal up. Is using that in right now. However, at the keep, we are seeing Kenya taken out as well. The stomp does come out. They're going to turn the pressure down onto Burt. And they still have this 2-cap in a minute and a half. I mean, they still technically have some time.
It can. And Thunderkid's trying to get a decap or something. Burt doesn't want it to happen. Hero. Over here at the hedge point, like you're about to say, Hero is actually taken into the downstate. Are they going to be able to get a rest? Suikoon's pretty low as well.
Take him out as well.
They're going to piece out. Oh, the decap at the mine point, though. They just got a decap. They could win this game still. There's a minute and 5 seconds left. Don't forget about Chieftain and Spawner. Those extra 25 points are going to allow for them to get back into the game. Suikoon, though, had a nice, he got out of that fight, able to get the decap at the midpoint easily. But despite that, that decap is really going to allow this blue team to get back into the game. They could have this. 50 seconds left. This is going to come down to a kill on Spawner or Chieftain. I am having a feeling about that one.
Yeah, 45 seconds left. It could definitely come down to that hinge point still in favor of this blue team. Suikoon's going to get that full cap right now, so they have equal point accumulation here. They need to swing a kill and the boss. They need to get something here. Rainbowkins is in the downstate here. They were able to get him back up. They're going to turn onto Eternity right now, who's at about 20% HP and dropping pretty steadily here. At about 10%, dropping still.
Oh.
And he's in the downstate here. Hero is in range to provide some support, but if they kill him and I mean, they go for both bosses
right now. Thunderkins is on one boss. Wombakins is on the other boss. They've got 13 seconds left to get the kill. We are going to see the Elementalist Wonderkins go for the kill as well. Swiner is about 25% HP, 5 seconds left of the game. Who's going to get the kill? Red team gets the kill. That will be game.
Game there. And they weren't able to finish off that Chieftain kill at all in the time allotted there. So unfortunately for them, they weren't able to come back from that. I mean, that was so close. Could have gone really either way at that point. I mean, that was, like you said, pretty much up to the boss fights. Unfortunately for blue team, they weren't able to swing either of those.
Yeah, even just think about it. If they did not, if red team, so it was like 424 to 394 or something in that range. I believe if blue team had gotten the kill onto Spawner there, I think the point difference would have given them the lead, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they definitely would have been able to swing that if they were able to take at least one of those. Of course, 2 of those, but I mean, they were down in that last set. I think it was like 49 points. So if they were able to swing that boss kill there, they would have been up by 1 point, I do believe.
E-Dream. Keeping the dream alive in that one. Going to be taking game number 1 against this blue team. That would be just couldn't finish, rather. Who arguably had an incredible comeback there. They did really good job, and I felt like most of that game, E-Dream was out rotating them rather, and blue team was winning most of the fights at least at the start of the game. We saw multiple members of E-Dream get taken down. Hero was taken down multiple times, so we saw really good reses coming out there from Eternity, and Burt had some very nice time warps that allowed for them to get them back up into the fight. So, I gotta hand it to E-Dream. Really earned victory that one, but that honestly could have went either way. Playing it by Chieftain and Spawner is, I don't want to say it's playing it by luck, but there's a portion of it of you don't know what the other team's going to do. You don't know who's going to get that last spike. You really just got to, throw everything at it. And unfortunately for E-Dream, taking that Spawner kill allowed them to win that first game.
Yeah, unfortunately them for the Chieftain side of things, I mean, we saw the Thief, and he was basically just short bow autoing, so he wasn't able to get the pressure down quickly enough for them to be able to swing that kill quickly, before the timer was up. So if he was able to get into that dagger pistol and just spam that blind and just auto attack, he would have had a lot more damage pressure, and maybe they would have been able to get that out, and then, of course, they still would have lost, but they definitely would have had a better shot at it, despite losing that Spawner kill.
Yeah, I actually believe the score of the game was, in fact, to the point where if E-Dream had lost that, if I'm not mistaken, I thought that was right, that they still would have won because of the fact that there was no kills on the line for just couldn't finish. It would have been 399 to 398. Because the final score was 424 to 373, I believe. So that would have given E-Dream the win, regardless.
I'm pretty sure it was 424 to 398, but I guess I'm wrong. Okay.
Oh, it was 398? That's the problem. We don't have it right in front of us. So
the boss was killed at 000, so you never know.
Yeah, you never know. Oh, well. So Regardless, E-Dream did get the win, so that's what counts. Just waiting on them to get into this the second match and begin this one. But regardless, taking a look at Legacy of the Foe Fire, looking forward here, who do you think's got the upper hand? Because, you know, with Burt running Time Warp, we could definitely see another, another Lord Rush. Thunderkins is running Massive Viz. Not to say we can't see a Lord Rush from them, but that last game on Forest, usually we don't see Forest games go to Timer. It's usually Legacy games. So a Forest game going to Timer, do you think we could see the same thing on this map?
I definitely think that's a possibility. That we go to Timer, but I'm not quite sure. I definitely think we're going to be seeing some Lord plays here as the game, in my opinion, is going to be close as the last one, of course. And it's going to be interesting to see, once again, basically kind of what Red Team does with Hero. I mean, that's really what it comes down to for their team, and Kenya being able to make those plays and just kind of stall 1v2s, and that's pretty much what they've been able to. That's pretty much what they've been doing to basically stay in these games and holding on here in all of these matchups.
Yeah, and last week, I mean, we saw E-Dream played last week against Radioactive. They did pretty well, but today, obviously, getting the 3rd seed and not having to go up against them in the first round, they're probably very excited about that, at least when they saw it. Going up against Just Couldn't Finish, who has multiple members who play in Academy Gaming. And E-Dream, that's where they started out. They play in Academy Gaming, and they've sort of transitioned over to ESLs, which I'm really happy for that because, you know, obviously they've been improving. So a lot of these guys have played against each other, if not with each other, in tournaments. So they definitely know each other's play style, how each other works. So this definitely could go either way. We could be looking at a game number 3 if this one comes down to as close as the last one was. Just waiting on a member of this blue team to go ahead and sort out some issues he was having last game, and we'll get this match number 2 underway. Ultimately, I would like to see a lot. You know, it's always fun when we see Lord Rushes, especially when the game it's from the timer. You know, just trying to get as many points as you can, not even trying to get to 500 because of, you know, timer. It would be really awesome to see that come down to this again in this game here with 2 very, very evenly matched teams, I would have to say. Of course, the winner of this match, this is the round of 8 for these guys, so the winner of this match would be moving on into the semifinals, where they will either be taking on Radioactive, ASAP Zerg, or Don't Touch Me there. Three teams who definitely have a chance, all have a chance to get to that semifinal matchup. But taking a look here, looks like we do have game number 2 about to go underway here. Let's go ahead and take a look at the opening splits for both of these teams, as we do have the second match underway. The winner of this, obviously, if we could go to game number 3 here, if blue team does happen to win. But a 1-4 split coming out for the blue team, 2-2-1 it looks like. They're going to be sending Kenya, once again, E-Dream sending Kenya over to that waterfall node, going to be pushing a 3-point split. What are your thoughts on this one?
You know, it looks like gonna be about the same thing here. We're gonna have Hero as well as Suicune here protecting that home node for this red team. Style gonna go into basically hold this 1v1 here and hold the quarry. Looks like Hero's gonna adjust over. I'm not sure if he knows really even what he's doing, but looking over at the mid fight here, that's where most of the pressure is gonna come out. Eternity already at about 25% HP, does have that Defy Pain going there, and he is back at about 40%, but doesn't have anything left after this, and they're still training him out. Looks like he's going to try to get back over to his teammate Hero here, who might be able to provide some support, but I'm not sure if that he's going to be able to accomplish that. Wombokins right now at about 10%. Eternity going to go down soon, though. 500 HP, does get thrown into the corner and taken out here.
Double
Hero
time warp.
as well as Burt are going to go for that time warp.
We saw a double time warp there. One coming out there from Burt and one coming out from Thunderkins. The stomp actually, the res rather, came out onto Hero, if I'm not mistaken, that was Eternity rather. Wombokins still in the downstate. So much cleave coming out here. They weren't able to get that res. So that's going to be the first 5 points of the game in favor of E-Dream. Pretty good start on their end, but, you know, blue team, they still have some fights they can clean up here.
Yeah, absolutely. Wonderkins right now at about 10% drop already here as well. This second kill looks like this portal is going to save him, though, as he is going to be pulled out. They're going to go for that res there with Thunderkins. Thunderkins going to be able to get it. Oh, is he actually? He is going to do it. Burt going to be dropping a bunch of damage on top of him, though. Looks like Thunderkins looking to turn the pressure back on top of Burt. 50% HP for Burt right now. Looks like he's going to be able to get that stealth off. Kenya needs to be careful as well, because he doesn't have that same stealth play that Burt does. Looks like Eternity is actually going to make it into this fight as well. Gets the support over for Kenya, who's now at 40% HP. Dropping quickly still here with those burns as well as those bleeds. That's going to be finished there. They're going to go for that stomp. Are they going to be able to connect it here? They do connect it. Kenya
but the battle standard! Oh man, Eternity threw down the battle standard but didn't manage to land it. But that mid cap I mean, the red team capped mid, they capped Quarry. Decap came out there from Wombakins. It's going to be a nice pickup, but red team ever so slowly building a lead here. Still a 2v1 over here at the waterfall as Eternity going to, kind of hold off as long as he can. Take a look at the midpoint. Wombakins actually forced off there by Hero. Bird's going to plus this fight as well. We're going to see a big mid fight, I feel, as the blue team is kind of forced out of that Quarry node. Graveyard, this is going to be another big fight here. If blue team can take this, they can definitely, get some points at the start of this game. Otherwise, those 5 points not looking too good for them.
Uh-oh, Burt taken down to about 5%. Is taken out as well there. Looks like blue team gonna go for that pressure there, trying to make sure that they hold on to this kill, but there's so many red teammates here, they're gonna be able to get them up despite all the pressure that was put down on it. Burt's back at about 10% HP though. He needs to be extremely careful here. Is able to get that stealth off, but doesn't have any heal here. It looks like he's gonna try to return fire down onto Stal, who's at about 60% here, but still, Burt right now is not looking very healthy. He needs to be careful. He's able to get his heal off now, though. Oh, they canceled it.
Oh, he canceled his heal. Well, that's not too good, especially with Amon getting the free decap over at the Quarry. No, Burt, though, not seeing a lot of pressure, especially with Amon out of this fight. They've got 2 DD Ellies and a Mesmer. It looks like they're trying to train down Hero. They know Hero is a huge threat on the offensive side of this E-Dream roster, and he's done an excellent job this game thus far. Still sitting about 8% HP, has his heal up. Look at the 8 stacks of burns, though, ticking on Hero. Does manage, he doesn't even cleanse those. That really, that really hurt him, but they still managed to take down Burt in the process, who's actually playing pretty passive, going in for the res. But look at that cleave coming out from that blue team. Not going to allow for that res to come out onto Burt, and they're going to hurt heavily from that.
Yeah, Eternity not in a good spot right now either, as he's at about 30% HP. He is able to get some good heals off, actually, for himself, accepting some as well from Suicune. They're going to try to take him out because he doesn't have anything left for himself. He's going to try to troll around the point right now. Wonderkins, Wombakins in the area. Looks like Wombakins and Thunderkins actually going to pull off. They're going to go over to that waterfall where I expect the next huge spike is going to happen onto Kenya here. Kenya at about 50% HP. Doesn't have too much right now. At about 30%. They're going to go for it here. They're going to go for the kill. Kenya staying alive through that mist form there with those Vamp Runes, but still so much pressure on top of him. He's going to try to get away. That block is enough for the meantime, but Thunderkins going to finish with this one off for sure.
Yeah, he had Slick Shoes, but Thunderkins came in there with that sword. He's going to be able to get that stomp pretty easily. Taking a look over at the Quarry. Red team's favor over here, but losing Kenya on the map going to put them at a disadvantage. Blue team have 5 members. Ooh, Selecta actually taken down, 100% HP, taken down there with within a couple seconds. Really good coordination coming out from Suicune, Burt, and Hero there. Going to pick up a kill. Now, Wombakins is in the area. He's going to probably try for the stealth. No, Time Warp coming out for Burt just in case he needs it, in case that res came out there from Wombakins. Blue team taking their first 2 cap of the game. A bit of a deficit here, but it's still early on, not to a point where they need to be worried.
Yeah, however, they do need to be worried about Wonderkins here, who was dropped to about 20% HP, was able to get some heals off though, and he's still under some pressure, doesn't have water for another 3 seconds. They can definitely still burst him right now. He's still at about 50% HP. Looks like Wombakins was taken down instead here. He's at about 20% HP, trying to stay alive, but they're going to finish him off. I don't expect anybody to get into range here. Looks like Thunderkins tried for it, but is going to pull off ultimately here. Wonderkins still now at about 20% HP, is getting CC. The taunt does come out. That's going to be enough to finish him off as well. So they already lost that waterfall cap, and now they're going to be losing Graveyard as well, as Rainbowkins is trying to get in there, was able to maintain that cap, but he's in a spot right now where he can be completely blown up if he's not careful. Yeah,
that was a really good job on Rainbowkins to get there, but he doesn't have Plagues, so he has Thunderkins in the area, but regardless, this is a 3v2 situation. Wombakins coming off a respawn. We do have Selecta coming off a respawn. They know they need to get to this midpoint, but Red Team's just not coordinating enough damage here to get a kill, so that cap on the Graveyard will remain in this blue team's favor, despite Waterfall getting decapped. About a 75-point lead coming out here for E-Dream. We're getting close to halfway in this game, and neither team even close to 250 points. Suicune saw the decap from Wombakins, not going to allow for it to happen, but the decap at the midpoint happens as they manage to knock off everybody off the point. Rainbowkins actually taken into the downstate. There's the Time Warp coming out from Thunderkins. Do they get the res? They do get the res. Eternity, though, is under a lot of pressure. So many conditions on him. He has taken in the downstate, going in for the res. Will be enough, though.
Looks like they're going to try to put some pressure down. And he is back up and into it right now, so this is a big team fight. This could decide a lot here. Wombakins going to be pulling off to try to get the decap over onto this Quarry. Good move on his part for sure. And it looks like the team fight is going to be looking okay for the meantime. However, Rainbowkins is accepting so much damage without that support of the Thief there to help him out, and we are going to be seeing Suicune go over to stalemate that fight a little bit as we do see the Thief pulling off. Rainbowkins is going to be going down pretty shortly, but is the Thief or the Mesmer going to be able to get there in time to support him? Looks like that might be the case as he's going to drop a lot of pressure there. Looks like they're going to turn and look at a turn.
Why did he come back into that fight?
And he's down. Rainbowkins going to go down soon though too.
And Burt, look at Burt. The Connie's taking out Burt, able to cleanse a few of them. I'm just not so sure why Rainbowkins felt the need to get back into the point. The decap at the midpoint does happen. Burt drops the portal, thought he was going to run out of here, but despite that, red team, Suicune did get the cap on the core. They're still having income. Blue team has an income for at least a couple minutes here. Rainbowkins under so much pressure. His hero is taken down in the midst of the fight. Bear now, or excuse me, Burt under a whole lot of pressure from Wonderkins, and it looks like Amon's on top of him. Man, he's barely staying alive here, has absolutely no cooldowns left. His heal doesn't get it off, does get taken down there. Rainbowkins taken down as well. Will it be enough though? Suicune going in for the res. I'm not so sure that's going to happen for Suicune. He's just going to piece out of the fight and give it up to the red team, or the blue team rather, and possibly just try for the side points right now. I think that that's in their best interest.
Yeah, they're going to be pushing the fight over towards the quarry. It looks like that's going to be their next point of contact here. They're going to try to take out Suicune as well as Eternity quickly. I have to imagine that Eternity is going to be their main target here, as we are going to be seeing him at about 50% HP, dropping still quickly. Right now, he's still at not a good spot here. Doesn't have Warhorn cooldowns, doesn't have shouts either. Looks like they're going to try to look at Rainbowkins here for some counter pressure. Eternity right now at about 10% HP, still dropping here. No shout. Does have his Warbanner if his teammate is the first one to go, but he is going to be dropped here. Suicune going for the res. There is that time warp out right now, and we are going to be seeing Rainbowkins not able to get a stop.
What a turn!
Downstated in the process here.
What a turn of events over here. That was a 2v3 situation. The red team had respawns coming over here. Despite that, Stalactite taking down over at the waterfall. Rainbowkins still in the downstate. Is Wonderkins going to get the res? I'm not so sure. So much damage from Burt right there going to be put onto Amon, who is forced out of that. There's no way that res has happened. What a turn of events over here at the quarry. We thought that was going to be a wipe for those members, the remaining members of E-Dream over there. Had reinforcements. Burt came in there with that incredible time warp and really turned the sway of the fight. Now we're going to see a 2-cap on the sides here. Hero, though, needs to be very careful. Has a little bit of support from Kenya, obviously, but I wouldn't be surprised to see this blue team make a huge push, especially with respawns coming over to this waterfall node.
Yeah, that fight was everything. I mean, if they were able to swing that, they would have been able to get Quarry, maintain Graveyard, and probably push the fight over to their home node and maybe stalemate Quarry for quite some time, and they would have been able to make a comeback there. But, you know, because Rainbow unfortunately went down in that cleave, you know, that really did swing this very heavily into Red Team's favor here. We are going to be seeing Wombokins looking for a target here, but he needs to be careful. We already see Hero all over him here. He's going to be looking to take the pressure down onto this Thief. The Thief now into the Vamp Runes, 10% HP. On the other side of things, we are going to be seeing Eternity at about 20%. They're trying to take him out. At the same time, Wombokins was taken down here. Hero all over it. They are going to try for the stomp. The Time Warp does come out. That res is so up for sure.
That was
back up into it. Rainbowkins, however, taking so much pressure right now, does have a good amount of his life force, but still taking so much heat. Eternity, as well as Hero right now, need to be very, very careful. Hero able to get some stealth off, stay away from Thunderkins right now, but he might actually take Hero out, despite that heal being going out right now.
Yeah.
And he might.
Oh man,
they need to be careful.
I don't know. They've been them both up back into the fight, but look at the health pools for E-Dream. Is it enough? But still, they have been taking a 2-cap for so long now. 340 points just about for them. A massive lead with 4 minutes left in this game. Rainbowkins about to be taken down once again. They don't have Time Warp because Thunderkins already used his Time Warp, had a really good res earlier with it, but if Rainbowkins goes down, I'm afraid that might be it for him. They have multiple members of this red team sitting on top of him, still taking the 2-cap. We do have a D-cap coming out from Amon over at the quarry, making it a 5v4 situation at the midpoint. Blue team's hang on just barely at this midpoint. Rainbowkins has been running for his life for at least a couple minutes now. Taken down once again. Burt with the cleave. Will it be enough though? Blue team able to get a cap over there at the quarry. Pretty good updraft coming out there from Suicune, able to knock off the Rezzers from Rainbowkins, but he is still back up into this fight. Blue team still have a chance, but 3.5 minutes left in this game. I'm not so sure of their odds.
Yeah, I'm not so sure either. Suicune is kind of low right now, but he is going to accept a bunch of heals from himself as well as Eternity there. Does need to be careful, of course, as he does not have Water Attunement here, and Wombokins is all over him right now, trying to take him out, and he almost nails it there, but Suicune doing such a good job of staying up and into it right now, and he is taken out. Wombokins is going to go for some cleave here, but Hero pushes him right off. They're going to go for that res, and they nail it instantly almost. It looks like Kenya as well as Suicune here, still under a little bit of pressure, but Rainbowkins in the meantime is taking a lot, as well as Stalacta. Stalacta had about 10% HP and dropping quickly. Rainbowkins at about the same amount of health. They're going to follow that up and try to see if they can get a kill out of it.
Yeah, Amon get a piece off of this note once again to get the decap over at the quarter. We did see Thunderkins actually get the full cap over at the waterfall, still managing to hold themselves at this midpoint despite being constantly outnumbered because they're at such a deficit in this game. They feel they have to get the decaps. If they don't, and they don't get the full caps, this game is either going to time out or this red team's going to hit 500 points. They have to do something. They have to hold on at midpoint. They've been doing a good job of doing it thus far, but Bert sees the full cap from Amon. Will he hit him with that Bassy Venom? Gets the full cap, so we do have 2 caps on the side for this blue team, but I just don't see it happening without, you know, a miracle here and a Lord Rush. With 2 minutes to go, I just don't see it happening.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about it. I mean, 404 to 174, just not enough time here. They still do have that decap, like you say, and I'm not so sure. I think red team is definitely going to come away with this, and they, of course, already are up 1-0 here. Kenya right now at about 20% HP. Does get saved from the Vampirant, but that's not going to be enough. He does get dropped into downstate. They're going to be able to take this kill here. You know, unfortunately for them, it's just a little bit too late here. They're not able to turn this one back around with the time left to spare.
Yeah,
and,
I mean, E-Dream doesn't even need any caps right now. They just need to make sure they know they don't give him a 3 cap. They can just sit on the points because there's 1 minute and 30 seconds left in this game. Eternity actually taken down there. You know, this is what this blue team needed 5 minutes ago, and unfortunately it's just too late in the game. I think. I mean, the Lord can give them 150 points if they're able to get the gate down and and get a couple caps here, but all 3 decap knows 150 points really wouldn't do much for him. Red team getting the full cap there at the waterfall, if I'm not mistaken, despite the leaderboard or the board not showing it. They got a full cap, and I just don't see it happening for this blue team. Pretty good effort from the blue team, but it's a little too late.
Yeah, I would be surprised to see if maybe they go for a ballsy Lord play. I'm not so sure at this point. They do manage to kill Bert off here. Portal for Thunderkins, unfortunately for them, it looks like is down over at this quarry node. They're going to go for a stealth play. It looks like they're going to make a move over towards the door here. Whether or not it's actually going to be enough is a great question. I definitely doubt it at this stage, but you never know. They might be able to turn something around. Red side gate is going to be going down pretty shortly here. They only have 30 seconds left here. This is going to be Thunderkins as well as Wombokins going in for this kill. We do see Wonderkins coming in as well, so I think they're going to be able to take this, but there's just not enough time for them to be able to actually get enough points to swing this back.
Yeah, 15 seconds, no time warp.
I think they're going to be able to take the Lord.
They can probably get the kill.
It's just not enough. It's just not enough.
It won't be. 5 seconds. Couple more hits here. They will get it. Interrupt it. 1 second. They get the kill.
Well, there is a silver lining. They were able to take the Lord.
Yes.
So able to kind of even up those points a little bit there, but pretty one-sided in favor of this red team. Fortunately for blue, they weren't able to turn that one back around, but congratulations to E-Dream moving forward into the next round here, taking it 2-0 over Just Couldn't Finish, who unfortunately just couldn't finish that last one.
Yeah, well, unfortunate for them.
Or the one before that.
But E-Dream's been trying hard these last couple of weeks, trying to get a good matchup, trying to get in here. You know, I believe they got Radioactive 2 times, or they got the Abjured once. I can't exactly remember, but they've had some really tough matchups. And going up against a team they're somewhat familiar with, that being Just Couldn't Finish. They know the members. They played with them. They played against them many, many times. Getting that victory, that probably means a lot for them. And moving on into the semifinals to take on the winner between Radioactive and Don't Touch Me there, which is actually our next matchup. They have to be feeling pretty good about that victory there, don't you think?
Yeah, absolutely. They definitely are probably feeling pretty good, but they barely took that one away. I mean, if you look at the scores, the one before that at on Forest was really, really close. It definitely could have gone either way if they made just even one mistake, but they were able to hold out on that one. But they definitely need to up their game if they plan to take it in the next series for sure.
Yeah, definitely so. And like I said, our next match will be Radioactive against Don't Touch Me there. But before we go on a break, guys, I believe Heurix has something of gem codes to talk to you guys about.
Yeah, we are going to be doing a quick gem code giveaway. We're going to come back with the details of it. I do have 3 gem codes to give away for you guys. We're going to come back with the details right after the break before we go into the next matchup. So make sure you guys stay tuned, because once again, after the next break, we are going to go into the details of that for sure.
Yeah, guys, so stick around for those gem codes. We're going to go on a short break. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, everybody, to the North American Go4 Guild Wars 2 Cup number 44. We have our next matchup ready for you guys. But before that, as promised, we do have a little bit of information on gem codes that you guys can claim today. What do you know about those, Heurix?
Yeah, we got 3 giveaways, like I said before. Those are going to be gem code giveaways. The first 2, the ones that we want to give out, those are going to be 800 gems each. As far as I think that's correct. About 99.9% sure those are 800 gem codes. If you head over to our Twitter account, which you can see right below us, that is going to be at CT Heurix and at Game with Storm. If you head over to those Twitter accounts right now, and maybe Storm can put them into the chat there for you guys to gain access to that really quickly. If you follow us on Twitter and retweet that tweet at the very top, it should say retweet this for a chance to win a free gem code giveaway. If you do that, you will be eligible. That will go into a parser, and we'll be able to go ahead and roll for you guys as well to win that first free gem code. So that is double the chance to win if you do both of us. Remember, that is 2 different gem codes, so make sure you guys do that, and we will have at the end of this stream, so make sure you stick around, another gem code as well. That is going to be the final one right after the finals. We're going to roll that off of Twitch, so make sure you guys hang around on Twitch as well as follow us on Twitter and retweet those tweets as well.
Yeah, again, I want to say there are 2 completely different giveaways, so if you want double the chance to win, go ahead and do that to both of them. And, of course, a third one later on this evening. But let's go ahead and not waste any more time. Get into our next matchup, which is Radioactive up against Don't Touch Me There. What do you know about these 2 teams? Obviously, like I said, the blue team, which is Don't Touch Me There, has 3 out of 5 of good fights. A couple of them were substitutes for good fights. But good fights, here they're coming back, man. And looking forward to seeing them up against Radioactive. What are your thoughts on these 2 teams here?
I think the most interesting thing about Good Fights coming back is their usage of the old Ranger style. I mean, the only kind of Ranger we see typically nowadays is definitely more of the Power Ranger type. We do see a couple Trap Rangers coming out, but for the most part, it is the Power Ranger, and they have 2 different Rangers here, both of which are not playing the standard power, but we have Ginyan playing spirits as well as the Guardian going for some traps. I mean, it's definitely going to be interesting to see how those kind of basically work in this scenario here. These are very good. This is a very good roster, so it's gonna be interesting to see what they do here.
Yeah, 2 very good Rangers. The Guardian, he's played on Radioactive for a while as Ranger, and Ginyan, an original member of Good Fights. Ranger at his best. He was incredibly good on, most Condy Rangers, even Spirit Ranger builds for that matter. So Ginyan, really looking forward to seeing what he's gonna be doing with this 5 Spirit Ranger build he's got here today. But before that, let's go ahead and take away with the Radioactive builds. What do we have going on their end of things?
All right, we're going to start off here with no damage. That is going to be ready-made here. He's going to be running Staff Ellie once again with Rune of the Monk and Celestial Amulet. Here he's going to be running Earth, Water, and Arcane for that Stoneheart. Next, we do have Collateral Damage. That is going to be all run. He's going to be taking up Axe Shield once again with the Greatsword. Rune of Strength and Berserker Amulet. Here he's going to be taking up Strength, Defense, and Discipline with his build. That is the first of 2 Rampage Warriors. Mayhem is going to be next. He's going to be running the Axe Shield as well with the Greatsword with Rune of the Pack as opposed to the Strength Rune there. Berserker Amulet, and he's going to be running Strength, Defense, and Discipline, the second of those Rampage Warriors, and we're going to be seeing big damage here, and this is going to be Staff Mace Focus with the Soldier Runes and Cleric Amulet, and he's going to be taking up Valor, Honor, and Virtues here. And finally, we do have Smexy Cat Punch, which is going to be running the second Bunker Guardian here with the support as well with Staff Mace Shield here, Rune of the Soldier, and Cleric Amulet, and he's going to be running Valor, Honor, Virtues as well.
Yeah, pretty standard Radioactive stuff. The only swaps coming out from the Smexy Cat Punch, that would be Tesla. Not running that Carrion Amulet. We had seen him run a few times, tested out, so he's back on the normal stuff for himself. He likes running that shield. Extra knockback there. Take a look over at Don't Touch Me There. First up, we got Ginyan playing. Oh, he did swap up builds. He's not running the Spirit Ranger build, thankfully, on his end. Running with the Axe Dagger with the Sword Torch with Crate Runes, Settler's Amulet. He's going to be running, looks like Skirmishing, Nature Magic, and Wilderness Survival for himself. Let's just take it down to the Guardian, who's actually running the second Ranger build. 2 Rangers on his team. Man, we thought 1 was crazy enough. He's going to be running Short Bow with the Sword Torch. Short Bow. Man, this is a weapon we haven't been seen at least 2 years in competitive play back with Spirit Rangers. I don't know. It's been quite some time. Running with Runes of the Traveler, Rabbit Amulet. He's going to be running, looks like Skirmishing, Wilderness Survival, and Beast Mastery for himself. So very, very interesting stuff coming out from them. Martin going to be running the first meta build, I would have to say. DP Thief with Shortbow, Vampire's Marauder Amulet, running the Shadow Arts variant of this build. Martin was on Radioactive, or not Radioactive, excuse me. He was on, he was a member of Good Fights back in the day with Dribs and Genyan. And Dribs going to be running the DD on this team with Strength Rune, Selly Amulet, running Fire, Water, and Arcane. And finally, Hortimus playing the Engineer for this team with the Rifle Soldier build with Strength Runes, running Explosives, Alchemy, and Tools for himself. So, Martin, Dribs, and Hortimus running fairly standard stuff, I have to say, but Double Ranger. What do you think we can expect from these guys? And what do you think they're trying to do to this red team? It feels like maybe trying to counter in some way or another, but, double Support Guardian, that's a lot of Condy Clear.
I mean, it is a lot of Condy Clear, but it does have pretty high cooldowns. I mean, 24, 28, 32 for those cooldowns. You're going to be seeing Feel My Wrath there as well. I mean, they do both have a lot of clears here, and especially with big damage being able to use 5 shouts here in his build, because there's not a whole lot of worry on his part for a lot of that power damage. I mean, it's mostly going to be Condy Cleave here, so he's going to try out that 5 shout build. It might work for him, but if Martin gets on top of him, then he's going to have to definitely try to take up Shelter or even Renewed Focus there. But they do, like you say, have a good amount of clear here. Whether or not they're going to be able to kind of keep it up is the question, because the way that Rangers apply conditions is just it happens so frequently.
Yeah.
Are they going to be able to keep him off indefinitely? I mean, they do have that Staff Ellie as well. It's just going to come down to how they control those conditions.
Yeah, and they're going to be applying conditions in a little bit different of ways. Obviously, Guardian has a couple of traps. Genyan not going to be using any of those. So, they're going to be applying their condies in a little bit different ways, but, similar fashion of, Rangers can just kind of throw condies on you extremely quickly, and without knowing it, you just kind of left wondering what happened. But, there's so much Condy Clear on the side of this red team with Smexy Cat Punch to big damage and no damage. And, if they're not able to, do a whole lot with those Guardians, it's kind of almost a waste of taking those 2 Rangers. So we'll have to see what their priority targets are, and more importantly, what their opening split is going to be against these guys. Because Radioactive, they have multiple different splits, especially on this map, but they typically like to play 2 points on this one. We'll have to see what they're going to be doing at the start of this game here. But it looks like we are going to have game number 1 underway here. A couple of members of this blue team going to be crossing right out of the gates here. Radioactive, all 5 members coming out of the main gate here. Actually, 3 members of this blue team pushing out of the side. Looking to make a 3-point push right out of the start here with Genyan, Dribs, and Hortimus.
Yeah, it looks like they're already kind of starting off. Things starting a little bit slow here, as we are, like I said, looking for pretty much a lot of Condy Cleave here. So damage is going to come in slow, but when it comes in, it's going to be pretty overwhelming if they can't manage it. We are going to be seeing Ulrun already into that rampage, looking for Dribs here. Does get mowed there by the top Elixir X. Hortimus going for that rampage himself, but does get the tornado instead, and they're all over him right now. He's extremely low. Is an Elixir S right here, but for the most part, they're not looking so good in this team fight here, as Genyan is going to get dropped very soon. Does get dropped there as he gets cleaved out by Mayhem in the rampage there. That double rampage is proving to be way too much for them in this team fight.
And that was a 4v3, if I'm not mistaken, because Martin decided to go for Chieftain right out of the start. Hortimus, though, gonna get the decap because, oh no, the no damage. Forced to Lightning Flash, ready-made. Really paying attention there, getting that on the point. Just to get, no, Hortimus able to get the decap despite that. Oh man, that was just a bit of a misplay coming out from him. The big damage, though, taken down at the midpoint. Is the stomp going to come out from the Guardian? Able to pick up the stomp onto the big damage despite a lost opening fight coming out for this blue team. They've kind of recovered very well in the, the minute right after it. And it looks like, despite the 1v1 going on over at that mine point, the Guardian is taken down there by both of the Warriors. Going to double 100 blades on top of him. No chance of a res whatsoever onto the Guardian. They are looking to just wipe up shop here at the midpoint and possibly, move over to that henge point. It looks like Mayhem is actually going to do that. Martin is not a good matchup against that, I don't think.
Yeah, Hortimus right now taking a lot of heat in this fight right now. No damage as well as the big damage. Looking like they're going to sustain out this fight on the mine point. In the meantime, over on the henge, we are seeing Mayhem getting dropped about 20%. Does have his steal up right now. Martin now taking a lot of pressure at about equal health right now. And we are even seeing the Guardian get on him as well. The Condy is being applied here Is it going to be enough? Mayhem dropping slowly here. Doesn't manage to get out the resistance quick enough. The Guardian is going to go ahead and finish that one off. So that's going to be blue team able to get back the hinge here in just a matter of time. Martin making a move over toward this mid fight here where we do see Ganyan kind of holding it off. We do have the red team already holding on to it here. Big damage was taken out over at the mine, though. They do manage to get the res. I'm not really sure if they're going to be able to hold this one off there.
Yeah, blue team only down, 30 points here at the start of this game. They're really trying to make a big push. Ganyan is holding off 2 members at the midpoint. That's a pretty good, thing. But Martin is actually going to piece out here over to this mine point, only a tick away for this Radioactive team. We do see Heurix popping that Elixir X, going to get Rampage for himself. Ganyan was actually taken out at the midpoint. Will it be enough, though, for this blue team to take a fight, or at least, kill a couple members at this mine point? We do see the big damage taken in the downstate. Heurix going in for the S-Stomp, does get it. Nice pickup to one of those Guardians. Despite that, though, red team did get the full cap on the mine point.
It's looking good for them over on the hinge as well with that free cap happening with Mayhem there. So they're going to have a 3 cap pretty soon here if they can't take out no damage. No damage is on the point here, but there's no one in range of him at all. So they're going to take this one back, decap over onto this mine point. We are possibly going to see a decap from Ganyan.
What is Mayhem doing? What is he doing? Oh, if he would have just given up that decap because he was running on the wall, he was pretty close on that one.
Yeah, that would have been extremely bad for them. In the meantime, collateral damage, aka Ulrun right now, taking a lot of pressure from these conditions here. And it looks like it's slowly kind of teetering. Blue team able to stay in this match right now. Martin doing a great job of making those rotations work for him, as well as Heurix dropping so much pressure onto them. It looks like that stomp is going to come off. Ulrun is taken out. The decap did happen on the hinge. In the meantime, it looks like nothing is going to happen over on these other 2 cap points already. This is the big fight here, and what's going to happen is we're going to be seeing Guardian right now drop to about 10% HP, still dropping here, doesn't have any cooldowns left, does get the fear off though, does get dropped here. Looks like they're going to go for the stomp, and I think they're going to get it here. It does actually connect. There it is. Guardian is taken out, and that is going to be red team's point yet again.
If that would have went in favor of this blue team, that decap was totally on Mayhem running on the wall, not paying attention to it whatsoever. But the 2 cap coming out here for Radioactive, despite taking the 2 Rangers, really hasn't done a whole lot for him right now. Ganyan managed to hold off a 1v2 for a little bit, but other than that, most of these Condis have really been dealt with very well by these Guardians, and it really hasn't been a whole lot of pressure as much as we may have thought. Now Martin was under a little bit of pressure, able to get out of that one with the withdraw. We have collateral damage actually popping that Rampage. Heurix going to pop Elixir S. Might be taken down there, is taken into the downstate. Should be a free stomp. Martin going to come in, maybe try for the stomp, or the res. Throws down the SR. If he's able to get that, that'd be a pretty nice pickup. Gets the res. Drib came into the area, but really didn't need his help regardless. But the 2 cap ticking for Radioactive right now, despite losing Ulrun, still looking pretty good.
Yeah, it looks like Guardian taking a lot of pressure as well as Ganyan. Both of these Rangers are having a hard time staying alive versus this double Rampager Warrior. I mean, it's just become just a little bit too much pressure for them, and they aren't able to get their Condis through these double support guards like we were talking about before. And they're still sort of in this game, but in these team fights, they're just having a hard time adjusting right now. No damage here is taking so much heat at about 10% HP over onto the keep right now, and he is accepting so much heals there from the Guardian. Received the light, does come in, basically saves him there. Looks like they are going to try to finish that one off. Martin does have that steal. It is going to connect for a backstab there, huge backstab, and that is potentially going to be a great setup for them to be able to put in a bunch of pressure. They do take out the Guardian there. Ulrun is around as well. They might be able to take him out in the meantime as well. Are they going to be able to do it?
The Rampage.
About 20% HP. Are they going to be able to swing this one? Mayhem right now in the Rampage. Does look like he's going to go onto the point, and he's going to try for a res. Does get it as well. They're able to get back into this one. Oh, boy.
A little bit too late, I think, on the Moa. I'm not sure if Heurix had that beforehand, but still, the kill onto no damage is going to prove to be really good. Obviously, Ready-Made is very tanky. Smexy Cat Punch actually taking it down there over at the hinge point. Getting that stop for themselves. They're not out of this game yet, but is it too late? And almost 400 points for Radioactive. All they really need to do is hold on to that 1 point, and they should be okay to take the game. But that's not how they play. They don't want to play like that. They want to actually win some fights. So we'll have to see what the next move is going to be and what point they're going to be going for. And I'm assuming it is going to be the mine point, as that is closest to the respawn.
Looks like they're going to go for the kill onto big damage here. Looks like he's going to take a bunch of pressure right now. Doesn't have any way to get those Condis off. apart from that focus 4, it doesn't look like he's going to even try for that. Mayhem is there. It looks like he's going to try for a res. They do knock him off the point, though. Mayhem's going to follow it up once again. We are going to be seeing the res come out for sure from this red team here. Heurix not in a good spot here. Does get taken out. Guardian in a similar state. Looks like he's going to pull off. They do still have this 2-cap. They are going to kind of clear it up, get a little bit closer here, but still not looking too good for this blue team. They need to make, they really did need to hold that mid fight for quite a lot longer than what they did.
Yeah, and a pretty good job thus far of holding on to this 2-cap, but we see no damage and collateral damage coming over to this mine point. Dribs trying to get there in time, will it be enough? Gets onto the point just in nick of time. Oh, but the decap happens. I think he overrode the node, it looked like. Or did that knockback come out there from that air 3 from no damage? I'm not exactly sure. I think he just rode the lightning right over the node, unfortunately for Dribs, giving up that decap. But still, I'm not so sure it would have been enough. They would have had to get bosses. Still not out of this game just yet, as long as they're able to clean up either that mid fight or the fight over at the henge. But it definitely, you know, it's getting down to the wire here.
Yeah, absolutely. Looks like this fight over at the keep is probably going to stalemate for quite a long time here. Big Damage is taking some pressure, though. We are seeing this being that double, that is going to be double Guardian versus double Ranger here. The Guardian right now on this blue team side here is taking a lot of pressure actually from these symbols. Looks like they're going to lose this one. Looks like the Guardians are going to be able to support each other long enough to push this Ranger off the point. They're going to go in for it again, though. And tank is going to be coming up in about 10 seconds for the Guardian. And it looks like on Ganyan's side of things, that's going to be about 15 seconds. Looks like Heurix right now is about to go down, though. If red team can follow it up here, he does manage to get his heal off. He's going to be going back onto the point, but Mayhem is all over him here. Are they going to be able to put down the pressure, though, take Mayhem down, because he's extremely low as well. We are going to be seeing Run extremely low right now. Mayhem does get taken out. No damage is down as well. Run looking like he's going to go back over to mid, but he's extremely low. He's going to be able to get his health back from getting out of combat in the meantime.
I mean, the big damage taken down at the midpoint too, but Smexy Cat Punch able to get that quickness res onto him. Ganyan not able to apply enough condies on top of him. Only about 40 points away from getting a victory here. Getting that kill onto that Guardian could have turned the, the game around for him, but even so, you know, it would have been a 150 point deficit, or at least to get to 500 points, and I'm not so sure without getting a kill now onto these Guardians that it's going to happen, especially with collateral damage going over for the free decap over at that henge point. We already have Martin looking to pull Spawn here, who's actually going to piece out of this one. Heurix did pop Elixir X, managed to get Rampage, but not able to do a whole lot with it.
Yeah, it looks like this is going to be the final end result here. Guardian is going to try to stall this point cap here, but it's probably not going to last. He's probably not going to be able to swing this quick enough. I mean, there's only 10 points left on the scoreboard for them to achieve, and looking at Keep right now, there's no hope for them, and they are going to be able to get that Spawn here with Mayhem taking that. So Crisis solidifying this win for them, 516 to 386. A pretty close matchup, actually, when you consider the fact that Radioactive is, I mean, second seed in this tournament. This is a pretty close turnout. Yeah. Their first game, I think, actually playing with 2 subs. I mean, this is pretty big here.
Yeah, this is the first time that, if I'm not mistaken, Gideon hasn't played an ESL match in months, if I'm not mistaken. And Dribs, on the other hand, he's played in some on and off. Martin hasn't played in one in a long time. Heurix just coming back from a very long break. And the Guardian has been kind of, I mean, he had a long break not too long ago. So these guys are just kind of coming back into it. And to put up, you know, 386 points, if I'm not mistaken, on Radioactive, arguably the #2 team on NA right now, you know, you got to hand it to them on a job well done, despite coming up just a little short in that match.
Yeah, absolutely here. And this is going to be a pretty big map for them here. I mean, with that double Guardian, they have so much support here, and those warriors can kind of get in between points very, very quickly with that greatsword. The way that this kind of map works is that I'd be very surprised to see Radioactive lose this one, but it's going to be interesting. I mean, you just don't see Condi Rangers at all at this point. I mean, we did see them about a year ago quite often with the Spirit Ranger there, but you just don't see it that often anymore, and coming in with some interesting builds here as well. I'm not sure what's going to happen. We are seeing actually the Guardian go for a longbow build. He is going to swap to that power setup here as he does grab that greatsword as well. Looks like he's going to change the rest of his build out as well. So he's going to be swapping that. He's actually going for marksmanship as opposed to the nature magic that you see quite often. He is going to have that huge taunt there, though, so need to make sure we watch out for that. But he is going to have that protect me as well as Signature Stone, so he's going to have a lot of sustain there as well. So going to be interesting to see what they do with that ranger there.
Yeah, I know the Guardian, he loves to play Power Ranger on this map, and Power Ranger on Legacy of the Foe Fire is arguably one of its best maps. We all know that Forest of Niflhel is probably the worst of the competitive maps for a Power Ranger. So perhaps that was their thought process going into it, and seeing how it didn't really work too well for him, I actually like this move coming out from them, changing the Guardian over to that Power Ranger. It looks like Genyan is going to be sticking with the same build he was before, so no changes on his end at least. But I like them switching over to that Power Ranger. They're going to have a whole lot more pressure because right now, most of the pressure was Martin, and if Heurix didn't get Rampage, he really wasn't able to dish out a whole lot of pressure. So I like the change coming out there. They don't have a whole lot, that being Radioactive, to deal with the Power Ranger because of the fact they don't have a whole lot of Z-axis movement. Those Warriors, if we see good positioning coming out from the Guardian, which is easily obtainable on this map, then that could be definitely be a problem for Radioactive.
Yeah, I have to completely agree here. And actually, Mayhem's been known to kind of drop a lot of the fights versus these Rangers, especially the Power Rangers, of course. But even with Rampage, he dropped the fight to Hero over on that Waterfall node just last week, I believe. And he could potentially have that happen to him again. They need to be careful about him in those matchups because that's not a good matchup for him in particular. But looks like we're going to be getting both teams readied up in the meantime here, and this match will be right underway. What do you think for this? Do you think that Radioactive is going to be able to pull out this game 2, or are we going to be going into a game 3, do you think?
I think this one just might be as close as the last one. I'm going to put my money on to Radioactive, though. I think, obviously as a collective, they have more experience, and I think that will prove in this match. I wouldn't be surprised to see Mayhem go for that, early gate Lord push like we always see. So watch out about halfway through the game, especially if this game looks like it's about to time out. Mayhem will get that gate down if it's not already down from earlier on in the game and go for that Lord kill before they're even at 350 points, especially, like I said, if this looks like it could be a timed out game. But we'll have to see as we do have game number 2 about to start up here. What are your predictions really quick on this one?
I think that, like you say, it is going to be pretty close here. I think that we might see an even closer game. I think it's going to come down to a Lord Rush, and I think that we're probably going to be seeing Red Team defend and hold out and take a win on this matchup here.
Take a look at the opening splits. 4 people to that quarry node for Radioactive. A very, very defensive split. While Genyan and it looks like Heurix is going to push out Waterfall, expecting a 3-point push coming out from Radioactive, but it is in fact not Martin. Looks like the Guardian and Drips looking to make a push to the quarry node, but they found 4 members waiting for them. Oh man, Ready-Made almost got that full cap on the mid node. That would have been pretty devastating, but we're going to see a huge clash here at mid.
Martin already taken about 60% of his health down, does have SR still left, but that's it. He is looking not so good right now. That looks like he threw a cluster bomb into that wall there, went right back over to him. He needs to be careful about that. However, we are going to be seeing a lot of damage being dropped onto the Guardian a little bit as well, but it's just in this opening fight, we're already seeing Red Team just display so much confidence in their team fighting capability. Collateral damage right now, taking a lot of pressure though, needs to be careful. Does accept a lot of heals and support from his teammates. They are going to back him up into the wall, throw him into the corner, and drop him so quickly there. Are they going to be able to get the res? So much cleave going to be dropped here.
I don't know.
Punch is taking a lot of damage. They're going to be able to get this and perhaps turn the fight off if the Guardian is taken out from that Rampage Warrior. Mayhem able to get that one finished off, but 25% HP for him. He needs to be careful as well. 10% dropping still.
This is incredible. We had a very nice moment coming out there from Heurix, able to make sure no longer Rampage. Martin actually taken into the downstate though. Will he get back up? I'm not so sure. Nice knockback coming out from the Guardian there. They're going in for the res, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Martin's going to be eliminated.
Cat punch is going to get routed from Martin.
I don't know. Willie. Spexy Cat punch back up into the fight with Martin going into the downstate. 1 cap in both teams' favor here. But look, oh man, Spexy Cat Punch under a lot of pressure now. Doesn't have a whole lot of cooldowns. Drips is actually taken down now. Heurix gets Tornado, exactly what he did not want. And we have collateral damage popping that Rampage, what looked like a 1 fight for this blue team. Man, this is turning out to be a rough opening despite that.
Yeah, they're still in this game, of course, since they have that 8-point kind of cushion for them there. It's going to be dropping soon, though, with Genyan taken out as well. So they're going to be dropping this graveyard cap unless someone can get here very, very quickly. I don't see that happening. We might see Martin make a move. It doesn't look like that's going to be the case, though. So Red Team is going to have this 2 cap in their favor. We might see no damage get spiked here as we are. Oh, I'm not actually sure about that because Mayhem, as well as the big damage, are making the move. Great rotations already here making the rotation to move over here. They are going to hold this 2-cap and actually get the D-cap on Waterfall as well. So they're going to start climbing up very, very quickly here. Guardian not able to really make any moves here as Mayhem's going to be moving towards them, pushing them back a little bit here. And it looks like blue team going to be getting that Waterfall back and pushing the fight over to the grave.
I'm not sure what Martin's doing right now. Needs to be careful. They need to regroup. Martin cannot be taken out here. Not really sure what he's doing right here. The big damage isn't even auto-attacking him. So we are going to see a big regroup coming out here from the blue team at the midpoint. Mayhem on top of Martin, who's able to evade that Eviscerate for the time being, but they're making a big push. We do see the D-cap coming out from collateral damage, a full cap. We are going to see a 3-cap more than likely unless Drip's able to get onto this point. I'm not so sure. Didn't pop FGS for it. Oh, he gets on the point just barely, so no 3-cap coming out for Radioactive despite a pretty strong opening here. They're making a push, a 3-point push actually. We are going to see Mayhem already making a push for that front gate for the Lord. Later on, we're going to have to keep a close eye onto that, expecting something. No damage in a 1v2 situation against the Guardian and Martin. Probably going to be taken out here unless he gets some support. We do see the big damage and collateral damage making their way over here as blue team finally getting that Waterfall node back. Despite, looking very strong at the start of this game, at that opening fight at Graveyard, they're really starting to fall behind early on here.
Yeah, definitely. So they are up 80 points right now. This red team here, this big fight over on the Graveyard is going to be everything here, though, as Heurix is getting dropped pretty quickly here. Does have about 40% of his HP left, but he is in stealth. Looks like they're going to try to turn some pressure down onto Mayhem right now. But, with that shield, they're able to really kind of delay a lot of that damage there, and it looks like Spencer Cat Pouch taking a little bit of pressure, but Dribs is the one that gets dropped there. They are able to get that Mow off, and Stomp is going to come out. Dribs dropped here, and it's just basically the story here is just this red team doing such a great job in these team fights, controlling them, getting so many kills, and really just kind of controlling both Guardian and Ginyan in a lot of these team fights.
Yeah, that's really true. And we do see the Guardian actually taken down here in the middle of nowhere, to be honest. They're just kind of running around between the gate for the red team and that quarry node and really haven't been accomplishing much. That would be the Guardian and Martin. And Martin's now under a lot of pressure over here, barely able to get some of his stealth off, able to cleanse those burns. Probably has to throw down his SR. We'll have to see. Is Heurix going to actually come into this fight, getting on top of collateral damage?
Is able to get his own rampage there.
Oh,
is this going to be enough to get a kill off of it? Doesn't look like that is going to be the case. He just doesn't have the damage pressure to pull it off here. And with this Guardian here, they just don't have the ability to take him out. Looks like Martin is in the area, though. We are seeing Ulrun come over as well, so this is going to be a 3v3 here unless Martin pulls off, and that is going to be the case. So they're probably going to stalemate this, despite the fact that this is not their point. Are they going to be able to get a kill off this? Not quite sure, but we do still have both Rangers here looking like they're trying to get some damage onto Mayhem. Mayhem about 50%. Martin in the same spot here, does have his SR. Looks like he's probably going to go for that pretty shortly, but not before going for an immob onto Mayhem, who's now still at about 40% HP. Doesn't look like anybody's in a spot there to actually follow up on it.
And I mean, the Guardian is trying to pew-pew from afar, but able to land some of that damage. He's not even using that shield block for that rapid fire coming out from the Guardian, trying to get on top of it. It looks like Ginyan. He's still the main focus of pressure for this blue team, but still, they have built themselves up to over 150 points now. Not even halfway through this game. 9 minutes remaining. Mayhem taken into the downstate. Smexy Cat Punch coming in for the res. Will the cleave for this blue team be enough? That good maul. I don't know. I think it could be enough. I'm not so sure he's going to be able to get this res. And Mayhem actually eliminated from the fight.
Pull that one off, and he might actually get killed in the process. Does get killed in the process. They're able to swing this. Ulrun is killed over on the quarry right now. Looks like they are able to get the stomp off as well. They're able to swing this. This could be huge here, as they are going to be able to turn a bunch of damage down onto the big damage here, who's at about 50% HP. There's 3 guys all over him right now. They're going to drop him soon. They do it, and they might be able to push over to a quarry.
I don't know.
We already have. It's just ready-made on this point right now. They're going to get this decap here.
Mayhem. No one's watching Mayhem. Genny needs to be the one going for Mayhem right now. He's able to get the free decap over at the waterfall. Remember, that front gate is already down. All 5 members of this blue team are on the other side of the map, and Mayhem has Rampage. He is going for it. They are 4 points away from getting to 350. He's not even going for the side gate. He went the entire way around the map to go for that. No one for this blue team, despite them having a 3-cap right now, knows that he's going for it. That could be killer. Dribs is on the side of the map, but he's not even close to the Lord right now. Mayhem might very well win this game for his team right now. Just like that Spider kill at the last of the game, which was an inevitable win. But this isn't so much. This could be a comeback if he did not have the Rampage for the Lord, but it could be too late now.
This is definitely too late for them. He's definitely going to be able to pull this one off. He does have that rampage. He is going to go into it right now. Starting to cleave. No one even close. He's going to finish this one out for sure. Not even a question. This is going to be the game here. If they can take a kill here, because it is at 496, they can definitely hold on here. But we're going to have to see. They can't drop anything at this point. They are going to be dropping that decap. Looks like no damage is going to go for that quarry node, and nobody's going to be able to pull off from this one. Martin right now very, very low. I think this is basically just going to be red team's game as soon as no damage can pull off and hold this. Man. Looks like Heurix is going to try to get over there, and he's going to be able to make sure that they don't get it. But, you know, with them pulling off right now, I think that red team's going to be winning this team fight in just a matter of time.
One kill is all they need. But collateral damage
taken down.
Is it going to be enough? Martin going in for the stomp. Will it be enough? Nice knockback coming in there for the rest from Spexy. Look at the res on the collateral damage. They should be able to get it.
Here. Not enough.
Oh, man.
Spexy Cat punch is extremely low. If they turn the pressure onto him and Ulrun still has so many bleed stacks, able to get some heals there, does have the resistance.
Ganion's down though. That's game if they get that stomp. Everybody has to come in for the res. Nice interrupt. Oh, Ganion willing because he gets up back in the fight, but they can't allow for any caps, anything to happen. Really good res coming out there for them. I mean, that's it. If they get a single stomp here, it's over. But remember, blue team doesn't have a single cap at this point in the game.
Yeah, they don't, and it's getting pretty close on this waterfall point right now where Ganion's extremely low, and he needs to be very careful as these warriors are all at 100% HP. I mean, look at the health right now. We're seeing Guardian taken out. Look at him just get obliterated.
That's it.
Down, and that's going to be game as they finish him off there. Martin taken low as well, but 501 to 313 looks like Radioactive moving forward. Such a great comeback from this blue team, but yet again, just too little, way too late there.
Yeah, a really, really good attempt coming out there from that blue team. Going to be falling short there and will be eliminated from this tournament. Not going to be moving on into the semifinals like Radioactive will be to take on E-Dream. But you have to give it to that blue team for their effort in that game. They did not give up. They didn't say, okay, they have 496 points, it's game over. You know, despite Crisis getting that free Lord kill, essentially, you know, they still had a very good, showing at the end of that game. Unfortunately, at the start of it, it really put them at a huge deficit.
Yeah, I'm not really sure why they didn't just throw the Thief over there. You know, he could have gotten over there really quick, putting down that blind, because, you know, basically what Crisis always does, or Mayhem rather, always does is basically just puts the Lord into the wall and then just stands on the same point and just clobbers him down. But if you can get that Thief over there and just basically kind of bait out that resistance and make sure that he goes into it without the Berserker stance, without resistance, then you could just sit on him and blind, and he's not going to be able to actually finish off that Lord at all. And you might be able to actually spike him down in the meantime and take him out with just one person rotating back who can get back into the fight very, very quickly. So I'm surprised they didn't send Martin to go over and do that. Maybe a little bit of a misplay there, but you never know what could have happened. That was extremely close at the end, but great job from this team here, able to do, on their first game back from a huge break here, already doing quite well against teams like Radioactive, who is the second seed for us today.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to hopefully seeing Don't Touch Me there, whether they come back under another name next week. I'm really looking forward to seeing them in future weeks if they're able to gather up a couple extra members for their final roster to transition into what hopefully would be called good fights. But our next matchup, guys, if I'm not mistaken, it will be Radioactive against E-Dream, a rematch from last week. What are your thoughts on this one before we head to a break?
That's another one I'm definitely looking forward to, and I'm really excited about today. This has been such a good day so far. I do want to reiterate that we do have those Twitter giveaways. I will be fixing my camera as well very soon, but we do have those Twitter giveaways. In the meantime, make sure that you go over to our Twitter accounts that are listed right below us. Mine is at CT Heurix, and we also have Storm with at Game with Storm. And make sure you head over there. You do have to actually follow that Twitter account to make sure that you're eligible for that contest there, and make sure you retweet that tweet as well. It will be right there. And I believe that's actually it. We do have another giveaway coming at the very end of this as well, so make sure you guys stick around for sure.
Yeah, and I want to reiterate, we both have individual giveaways here, so go ahead and retweet both of those. Double your chances for getting those gems. But we are going to go on a short break, guys, and when we're back, we will have Radioactive against E-Dream. Don't go anywhere. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the ESL number 44. We are going to go into a match that's already in progress right now. Let's go ahead and take a look at what we've got. It is the Abjured up against Spoookie. Going on in this game number 1, it was very close. Decided to go ahead and cover the rest of this series. What are your thoughts on this and what's going on right now, Heurix?
Oh, man. Spoookie doing such a good in these team fights right now. Beyond taking so many kills right now. Beyond is something for this Spoookie team, as Happy Kid isn't around right now, so he is going to be playing that thief role for them, and he's doing a pretty good job of it so far. He is extremely low, but he's been doing such a great job in staying alive here. He does go into the downstate. Looks like they might leave him, but he is going to go on to that point and hold it. This match is
Just
so
like
close.
that.
Look how
Blue
much
team
time is
takes
left
a
on this
capture
timer. We
point.
only have 4 minutes and 33 seconds left on this timer, and we're still about 60, 70 points away here, 70 points right now away from each other, and the caps are just rolling for both sides. Schnicky did just take out Nos with some help there
Blue
from
team
Mime,
grabbed a
able to get
capture
the
point.
2 cap. They're going to be coming back right now against the Abjured. Toker in the downstate right now. Nos coming off that downstate right there. They might be able to take Toker, but
Oh
he's
my
still
God, he
at
gets
about
up.
99%. Oh, and they turn it around. 2 downstates for this team here. Mime extremely low as well. But with Toker being back in it, I think that they're going to be able to swing this one back around.
Yeah.
But it's still so close.
This
right
was
now.
close, and like you said earlier to me, it was about 200 to 200 right now. The Abjured, you know, they did manage to wipe up a couple members of Spoookie off the map right now. We do have Poopy Stream, actually coming back into the game now off of Respawn, but despite that, the Abjured holding the only cap right now, building up to a 100-point lead. Still a very close match. Spoookie doing a really good job right here, maintaining themselves and not getting overrun like we see the Abjured do to so many teams.
Capture point.
Yeah, they're definitely going to be coming back here. I mean, it was so close. As we jumped in, it was 200 to 200. Abjured swinging it a little bit right now, but it was so close. And Blue Team doing such a great job in these team fights. We already see Nos right now not looking so good here, as he is about 20% health in this Plague form. Does have what I believe is a good life force pool as soon as he comes back out of it, and he has about 10% HP. Does have about half of that pool there. Is able to get back into it, but he needs to be careful because they're going to turn the pressure down, and if he gets dropped out of this, he's going to die immediately. He does get dropped. They're going to go for that cleave there, and they're going to try to go for it here. We are going to be seeing Toker as well as Chase go for that res, and they're probably going to nail that one, and
Yeah.
they do get him back up, and it's a fight.
That's a pretty big res, especially with the Abjured just holding on to that midpoint right now. 5 gauge popping that Elixir X, gonna get Tornado, but Toker now under so much pressure, has nothing left. The Shadow Refuge gets it down, should be okay for the time being. Oh man, Beyond B is so close from backstabbing them there, barely manages to stay alive. That is why Toker is so darn good. Blue team taking that mine point though. A big fight over here at the Henge. Nos actually taking it in downstate. There is the Moa onto Poopy. Coming out from 5 gauge will be enough to get the stomp onto Nos, so I think they should be able to clean him up. But despite that, the Abjured only about 90 points away from victory on this map number 1 with 2 minutes and 15 seconds remaining.
Yeah, it looks like Toker going to be plussing in onto Schnicky here, where Panoram's already doing some work. Schnicky at about 50% HP is able to get some heals for himself, but it's not enough as Toker is all over him with that char there. He's at about 10% health, dropping very quickly. I suspect that he's going to be going into the downstate very, very shortly, as he's still so low right now.
Oh man,
Toker
Schnicky
all over his back.
Schnicky is somehow managing to stay alive throughout all of this. Schnicky doing a great job on his DD Ellie right now. Oh,
that's Stoneheart keeping him
right
up
there,
a little bit here. That's Stoneheart doing some work right now. He's still at about 20%. We do see Poopy Stream coming in here, and that is going to be Sunfish trying to get some support, but we are going to see Toker take him out. Schnicky taken down into the downstate, going to go back over towards Beyond. It looks like Beyond's going to go for that SR, going to try for the res here.
I don't know.
Keep him
Oh,
at
the
it.
fire
It looks like
grab
that is going to work. Maybe Beyond's so low right now, though. The cleave is proving to be just a little bit too much.
That was-
Schnicky is going to be killed off.
That was really good cleave coming out there from Toker and Panoram. Red team, the Abjured able to clean up, keep once again, get that full count. Now Beyond under a lot of pressure, has his heal off, but he's going to find Wakey at this midpoint if he attempts to go through it. Still decap sides right here, about over 100-point lead coming out for the Abjured. A minute left in this game. We do have 5 gauge popping that Elixir X once again. Manages to get Rampage exactly what he wants. Now Sunfish is under a whole lot of pressure. Going to be taken in downstate there. And I don't think Beyond B is going to be able to help him. He needs to get out of this node. Despite Schnicky coming off a respawn, I don't think that's a good push for him. But it's kind of their last hope right now. I think this is definitely a game over.
Yeah,
Just
both
like
Sully
that,
Necros were
Blue
just
team
taken out at the
takes a
same time
capture
here.
point.
Schnicky doing a great job of staying alive, but you know, they've actually found answers for these Sully Necros. Nos being taken out a lot so far. We've already seen him get killed off, I believe, 3 times now. And same goes for Poopy Stream, it was taken out as well over there. And it's getting pretty close to the wire here. There's no way that Blue Team is going to be able to come back, especially with that 2 cap for sure. I mean, 15 seconds left on the clock. We're going to be seeing Abjured take this and be going into game 2 up 1-0. But still, though, such a close matchup for quite some time there. Unfortunately, Blue Team not able to swing this in the second half of this matchup, but able to get this to time, which is a big feat nonetheless.
Yeah, definitely so. And there it will be timed out here. with the Abjured. 485. A timed out game for the Abjured. Wow. Now that's something we don't see very often, let alone close games against them. And despite the score, I think that was a little bit closer than it actually shows, going back and forth for a lot of it. And I believe you said it was, you know, tied up about 200 near the midpoint of this game.
I'm getting told right now that they were up about 200 to almost nothing at one point, and unfortunately for them, Abjured just swung it with a big team fight and was able to kind of turn that one back around. But they were up by about 200 points at some point, is what I'm being told right now.
Alrighty, but let's go ahead and take a look at the builds. We didn't have a chance to do that. If you want to take us away with the Abjureds really quick here.
The Abjured here. Definitely everyone very comfortable with this. This is going to be Nos first here with Staff, Dagger, Warhorn. This is going to be Rune of Strength and Celestial Amulet, of course, with Soul Reaping, Spite, and Curses as his setup. And this is going to be Phanoram next with that Dagger Elementalist, known for running that Rune of Strength. Celestial Amulet going to be running that Blinding Ashes build, Fire, Water, and Arcane. Next we do have Wakey going to be taking up the same build, however with Holbrack instead, as he's typically on that midpoint there, so he needs a little bit of more of that Condi control, and that's going to be with Celestial Amulet, of course, as well, with Fire, Water, and Arcane as his setup for that Blinding Ashes. Magic Toker today on his Char Thief. You know, I think he plays about 400 times better on this Char Thief. It's absolutely ridiculous. But he's going to be on Dagger Pistol here with Rune of the Vampirism, Marauder Amulet, Deadly Arts, Shadow Arts, and Trickery for his setup. And 5 gauge here is going to be the last one on this Abjured team here with Predator rifle build there. I love that. I love that legendary, man. But Soldier Amulet, Rune of Strength, going to be taking up Explosives, Alchemy, and Tools. And, you know, while we look at this this team setup, I just onto blue side. I really want everyone to take a look at how gorgeous this blue side is with Mime, Yaka, Jiatsu, Shniki, Yoshikatsu, and Koto Lama and the Jiskata here, just bringing in so much hype here with their ugly chars.
Oh man, now let's take a quick look at their builds. It would be Sunfish on the Necromancer playing the Staff, Dagger, Warhorn with that Strength through and Stellar Amulet, playing the Triple Signet build that Nos is running himself. Mime going to be playing, it looks like he's not playing PU, he's running Greatsword Staff with the Vampirin's Zerker Amulet, running Domination, Inspiration, and Dueling for himself with double Mantra. Obviously got that Mantra of Recovery and Mantra of Distraction along with Signet of Humility. Next up, Beyond B playing the Thief for this team with the DP Shortbow. Vampirin's Marauder Amulet playing with that Shadow Arts variant. Shniki playing DD Now this is something we don't see Shniki usually playing. He is on DD with the Holbrack Runes, Selly Amulet. He's taking Stoneheart in that Earth over the Fire, running with Water and Arcane to complement that. And finally, Kodo going to be playing Fire, Water, and Arcane DD with the Holbrack Runes. So pretty standard stuff for the most part. A couple things that are a little bit off, of course. We usually don't see DD take Earth, but it is a variant that you can have in replacing Fire and be a little bit more tanky with that Stoneheart. And Mime, obviously, we see a lot of Messmers running PU, but Mime does just fine without PU and running those double mantras. So really excited to see them perform on this second map here.
Yeah, with them being up something like 200 points, I mean, pretty excited about this matchup here. I mean, we were going to be going into a different map, and we heard this, and we just had to jump in for you guys to see this action because we do not want you guys to miss any type of like just insane action that could be coming out, especially from a matchup versus the Abjured here. So that's why we're here. That's why we're checking this game out right now.
Yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at the splits for the second map opening up here. If the Abjured take this, then we'll be moving on into the finals here.
Hold on to
Take a
your
look at what we've
points.
got. It looks like 5 gauge usually cap in his home node. We do have Kodo going for his. So the Abjured possibly looking for a 3-point split, leaving. Looks like that's Wakey at the mid node. We're going to have 3-point split. Pretty identical splits actually coming out from both these teams. Very interesting. Usually we don't see identical splits on this map, but that is nonetheless what is going to be happening here. Actually, no! 2 members of this blue team peeling back to the midpoint. That would be Beyond and Mime.
Yeah, this is going to be a pretty big team fight. Looks like Toker's already looking to take out Mime. Mime already about 30% HP. They put the counter pressure down on the Toker. Toker accepts so much of it already. There's so much burst play happening right now. Mime not in a good spot, though. Looks like he's going to go for some stealth, and he's going to pull off a little bit, but he needs to be careful because Toker is kind of watching him. He needs to be really careful. He looks like Toker might go for it. Mime dropped about 2 health there, and he's going to be finished off there by the Char Thief coming in. There's so much creep already on top of him. They do have Corey, though, in the meantime.
Yeah, they managed to pick up the quarry there, but losing Mime, that's going to hurt them significantly. Now Kodo knows he's getting plus by Toker. FGS is right out of that node, just going to give it up possibly. Just, wait a few seconds. No, red team getting the cap over there. Now we're going to see a huge mid-fight. I think we have Beyond and Toker kind of fighting against each other here. Nas sitting on that node, expecting Kodo to come back here, so we could see a 2v2. Meanwhile, what's going on at that midpoint?
At this mid, oh, actually, we're going to be seeing Beyond taken down as well here. Looks like they're going to have a lot of cleave on this as well, so Beyond's going to be taken out here. But this is actually, I think, Beyond's first time in an ESL. I think we've seen him a couple of times in AGs, but this is his first time in an ESL, and already going up against the Abjured and up a couple points, was able to get 200 above them before. This is pretty big time for him for sure. Poopy Stream, though, is taken down. Mime going to go for that res. Looks like Kodo's going to add in here, and they're going to be able to get him back up. He's back up into it. Does have Signal to Locust, but I'm not sure if that's going to be enough, as he does have Life Force, but that's it.
Yeah, out of this Life Force, 8k health. Oh, he gets mowed there by 5 gauge. He's going to be taken into the downstate. Panoram, though. Panoram's under a lot of pressure. Doesn't have his water to me. He is... Oh man. Sunfish gets stopped, bringing Panoram back up into the fight now. Now Kodo is under a lot of pressure. He is taken into the downstate. I don't think Schnicky's able to help him. So Schnicky is just going to try and stay alive on this point. Remember, they're still hanging on to the quarry.
Beyond getting the decap point, and he's able to get that one back up. Looks like he's going to add into that fight onto Toker, and Mime trying to finish him. But Mime needs to be careful as he's at about 20% HP. Vampire's saving him for the meantime, but that's not going to last forever here, as Toker's probably going to be able to finish this one off. Stealth going to last just long enough, it looks like, to get Mime perhaps out of there. Schnicky on the midpoint right now, trying to control it versus this two-man Phantom Ram and Noskog Assault here, throwing him into the wall right now. However, right now, Nas still at about 50% HP. This could be anyone's burst play right now.
And I was just about to say, red team taking the 2-cap there, but despite that, taking out multiple members of this blue team, it was sure enough going to catch up with them because they were still not down very much. But now they were kind of funneling into fights, and it obviously caught up with them. We did see a 2-cap coming out for the Abjured. Beyond, though, under so much pressure, has Vampire. It's 8 bleeds, going to cleanse them so low, 800 health. He does have Blinding Powder up. Should be able to stealth up for a little bit longer, get out of this fight. Okay, we do see the decap coming out from Kodo, coming off a respawn. Really good decap there, only going to allow for the Abjured to take that graveyard node as 5 gauge. Going to plus Sunfish over at the waterfall. He's going to need some support soon, otherwise he's going to be in a heap of pressure. He has Plague. I'm surprised he hasn't Plagued on that point.
Blue team takes a
I'm not really sure about Beyond's rotation here. Looks like he's going to try to add on to Wiggy, but he doesn't have any cooldowns, so they're going to try to turn the pressure down onto him. He's at about 10% HP, getting dropped pretty low here, but Shadow Refuge is going to take him back up and keep him alive in the meantime. Does have his heal as well, but he gets revealed there. Actually still in stealth despite Chase reveal. Not really sure what's going on with that. Perhaps a bug, but that is going to keep him in stealth. Beyond. But he's still going to be going down here if he doesn't get... Oh, up with 83 HP, still in it here. Schnicky over on the
Why is he going back in, though? That's my question. Why is he trying to go back in? 5 gauge had Elixir X, got the Rampage. I'm not sure what Beyond... he is... Oh, man, is the Moa onto Sunfish. He is going to be taken out here. Beyond... I think Beyond just needs to get out of this fight. He does have respawn, so Mime going to plus this. Look, Beyond's going to be taken out there. Yep. And the 3-cap from the Abjured, though. This is going to be a hard one for this Spoookie team to come back from.
Yeah, and with Beyond taken out here, I think they're going to have enough pressure as well with Toker in the area. Kodo, right now, about 30% HP, doesn't have any stealth play for him. Perhaps if the situation was swapped a little bit with that stealth play, that might be able to get him up, but Beyond, of course, being the one in downstate, this is not looking good for them. 3-cap play for the Abjured, able to turn this game and make it look very much like Abjured is back in force here, and I think that this is probably going to hold for quite some time. But that first game was a lot of fun to watch there. Unfortunately, we couldn't see the very beginning of it, but
it's not over, really. This blue team, you might say, okay, the Abjured's doing their thing, sure, but they're just regrouping right now. We'll have to see if they're able to make anything of it, and it looks like they're just waiting to regroup right here. I am getting word on the other game. Radioactive is actually up 450 to 240 on eDream on Force and Nipple Health. Just a little insider thing there for you guys wondering about the other match. While the Abjured, what exactly is Spoookie doing?
They're looking for a little bit of a stealth play here. They were trying to go out and kind of get away from these staff marks. Unfortunately, though, for them, Kodo definitely did reveal all of them. It looks like they're going to go for another opening split as akin to what they would normally do. Looks like Kodo going to go to that mid-fight. We're already seeing Toker being dropped a little bit, was able to get his heal off. Are they going to be able to manage to get the decaps, though, is the question. And
we saw Schnicky get the decap at the waterfall, but despite that, Mime getting on top of Nas, 50% HP in that Shroud, 100% HP out of Shroud. He has Kodo on top of him. Nice updraft there, but Mime still under a lot of pressure right here. Has his mantra of recovery up. If he wants to use it here, he's going to try and get it off. Toker not going to interrupt him for that. He still has Signet of Humility, but despite that, 200 points away from victory for the Abjured here. Still not managing to get another decap. Mime actually taken down there. Toker on top of him. Kodo trying to get the res. I just don't see it happening.
Yeah, right now Mime is going to get the SR from Beyond. Beyond's probably going to be able to get him back up. There's a lot of pressure still on top of him, but that is going to solidify that pickup there, and they are going to be able to get Kodo back up perhaps as well if Beyond can manage to get a stealth off. Is he going to be able to do it? They do manage to get the, I believe that was a headshot, able to get him back up and into it there. So Kodo is going to be back up in the fight here, but still, nonetheless, 344 here to 68. Abjured doing so well, and it looks like Beyond being taken out is going to solidify this one, unless they can get him back up.
Oh, Beyond, I don't think, it looks like Beyond is totally taken out there over at the midpoint. I was taking a look against Phantom and Sunfish. Phantom under a lot of pressure against Sunfish here. Doesn't have his water attunement up for another 2 seconds there. Phantom taking down Sunfish, taking the 1v1 against Phantom, but Nas, despite that, is probably going to come in and just easily get this
Nas
res.
is for sure going to be able to take this one. Looks like he's going to try to put some damage on. Uh-oh, they need to be careful. Mime, though, Mime might solidify a double here as Nas has dropped to about 30%. That Moa might actually turn this one into another kill here. He is so low, does get taken out, so that's a double there. Toker at about 20% HP as well. If they can kill Toker off, this will be huge for them. He is in that SR, is able to get most of his heal back up, and Beyond needs to be careful because he's in the region, and Chase, if he hits him, can reveal him off the stealth there.
Yeah, and I think Toker should be okay. Now Beyond spiked down there by Toker, coming out with that backstab. Nice illusionary wave coming out there from Mime. Blue team able to clean up the fight over at the quarry, but Beyond is going to be left to die here despite the, valiant efforts there. No decap coming out there. The Abjured are going to hang on to that graveyard node for quite some time and probably claim victory holding on to that node.
Yeah, it does look like this is going to be in Abjured's favor here. I mean, Blue Team did a great job for sure on that forest map. Definitely already looking forward to seeing what they do in these coming weeks because...
Mime with the jukes. Mime with the jukes. We just saw Mime just kind of jump back and forth, made Toker jump down, and now he had to run all the way back up here.
They almost got him again with it. In the meantime, they do drop Toker to about 50% health. Does force him to get into that stealth play. Looks like he's going to go for a different target here as Snicky is about 50% HP. Beyond right now taking some pressure as well. Looks like those things are just at each other's throats right now. Toker going to go for Snicky yet again here. Snicky at about 10% HP does get taken out as Chase does manage to get the RNG dice rolled there and gets that rampage, finishing him off alongside his teammates there. Toker going to go over to that mid fight where we already see actually the Necro here, Sunfish, taken out as well. And Phantom extremely low right here, but with the support of his team, Beyond B probably going down right now after this misform, and this is going to be into
They got the decap. They did get the decap, but I don't think it's going to mean a whole lot for this Blue team. You know, they've done a good job this last few minutes, you have to admit, of getting decaps, actually taking out members of the Abjured, but unfortunately that 3-cap and that, it's kind of that lull of a 3-cap for the Abjured gave them such a significant lead that there's really not a whole lot of opportunity for the Blue team to get back into this game. Given the current situation that they're in right here, and that, they've got people still coming off a respawn, and 5 minutes left, the Abjured need 50 points.
Phantom right now pretty low in this fight here at about 30% HP. Doesn't have water for 5 more seconds, but this 2v2, I'm not quite sure. Snicky doesn't have all the damage of that fire attunement, but they still, with Beyond B front-loading all that burst there, are able to take him down. But with this SR in play here, I'm not so sure about it. We are going to be seeing Toker go for the res as well as Chase here. Toker very, very low right now, does have that Vambrace, and they're able to knock him back out. Toker going to go for the finish here. Are they going to be able to get the cleave off? I'm not so sure. They do not manage to do it, and Abjured are all back and into the fray here. Beyond trying to get out of it. Looks like he's going to be backstabbed there by Toker, and Beyond just trying to get out so fast right now. Does have the Vampire saving him in the meantime, but it looks like he's going to be in a pretty rough state pretty shortly here, as there's only about 20 points left for Abjured to accumulate before this is another win for them.
Yeah, it looks like the GG has been called. The Abjured, once again, will be moving on into the finals of the weekly number 44 to take on the victor between Radioactive and E-Dream. Radioactive actually took the first game 500 to 260, so pretty significant lead win for them on that first map, which we might bring to you guys next. But just looking at this one, Spoookie versus the Abjured, pretty dominant win on Legacy there for them.
Yeah, on Legacy for sure. I was expecting it to be a lot closer, something akin to the last matchup on Forest. I mean, they did so well. We were able to get in there when it was very, very close. We actually saw Spoookie on top, and they were able to basically just kind of come back and take it, the Abjured, and taking that first one. But, you know, I think that if they're able to kind of keep up with what they're doing, they've actually been scrimming a lot this past week. If they can kind of keep this up, and especially with having a consistent Thief, I know they were going to have Cade today because Happy Kid was out, but they managed to get Beyond B at the last second. Beyond was doing a pretty good job in Forest. Unfortunately, wasn't able to do the same thing on Legacy, but if they're able to get that consistent 5th player, then I think that it's going to be really great for them for sure.
Yeah, definitely. So actually, guys, we actually have our next match ready for you guys. We're going to go straight into no break for the first time ever. No break. We're going to go into the matchup remaining on the bottom half of the bracket. That would be Radioactive up against eDream, where Game 2 has already started here. Obviously, Radioactive, I had said, is up 1-0 in the set. Let's go ahead and take a look at what we've got for both these guys as we are into this match number 1. Radioactive over here on the red. eDream sitting over on the blue. Like I said, Radio up 1-0 here. Are you in here, Heurix? What's going on with this one?
Yeah, absolutely. It's already looking like blue team with a little bit of an advantage. However, Burt is in the downstate about 10%, does get cleaved out by the Guardian here. They do still have that quarry node, so looks like it's going to shift over towards a huge mid-fight where I do suspect that red team does have the favor. Eternity right now pretty low. Heroes trying to get into a position where he can provide some long-range support. Looks like he's going to try to put some damage down onto these warriors, but Eternity just getting trained out completely. That's the biggest thing with Radioactive here, is that since they're all melee, if you can really kind of keep up your momentum, and it does not look like Eternity is able to do that, then you can kind of keep the train behind you and just stay away from a lot of damage. Unfortunately for Eternity, that was not the case, as he was finished off there. Red team might be able to swing this fight as Hero is very low. Burt, once again, 50% HP, 60% HP here, is able to get some heals for himself, but Mayhem is right on his tail here.
Oh, he gets, oh man, he pops Distortion for that Eviscerate at the right time. Really good play from Burt. Still, a 1 cap in both teams' favor. A very, very insignificant lead coming out here for this blue team. That would be eDream. Still making the push at this mid-fight. Burt has Time Warp if something does go down like a stomp, but they are definitely looking to push this to a game number 3 on Kylo. Hero is under a lot of pressure. So is Suicune, pushed back to that waterfall. Going to be the 1v1 against Mayhem, who does not have Rampage for another 35 seconds. Should be able to hang on, get back to 100% HP at the time being. But mid is where everything is going on. Take us away with what's going on there.
Yeah, right now, over at the mid-fight here on Graveyard, we're still actually seeing a pretty big fight happening over onto the west side of the map as collateral damage. Ulrun taken down to about 20% HP, doesn't have EP anymore, does have his shield block though. Kenya right now taking a lot of pressure, but Ulrun is the one that's going to drop first here. It looks like they're going to go for the res, and they just get it so quick. Not able to get off the poison and the cleave quickly enough, or even a slow perhaps, and we're going to be seeing such a hero take a lot of pressure as well. He's at about 50% HP. I mean, red team just able to get these reses so fast, able to get the support going so quickly.
Yeah. And the Rampage, Mayhem as a Rampage, I guarantee he's going to pop it if they're not able to clean up this mid-fight in just a few seconds. Pop both his stances. He likes to do that and pop Rampage immediately. There it is. Pops both stances. Rampage going to get on top of it. Looks like Eternity, but hits Talgo's pet instead. Now Talgo is the main focus for him. Pops that Signet of Stone. Going to use his heal and piece out of here, mitigating a lot of what Mayhem could do in that fight with Rampage. Essentially, he did nothing with that Rampage because he hit the pet and then Talgo pieced out of there with Signet of Stone. Really good kiting coming out from him.
Yeah, he's doing a great job. However, in the meantime, Mayhem is downstated here still, and he's at about 40% health. Doesn't look like red team's going to go for it. Big damage, taking so much pressure right now. He's going to be dropped too. Is blue team going to be able to swing this around? Oh! Are we going to be seeing potentially the 1-1 going into game 3? It's too hard to tell right now, but with Mayhem right now in Vengeance, they still have the 2 cap though. Looks like they're going to finish him off. Probably get that that full cap over onto the Graveyard. Looks like they're going to be pushing Eternity over to that quarry node. We're going to be seeing Hero plus that one out, which is definitely going to be enough pressure to finish this one off. But you know, Smacy Cat Punch is the one with the shield, so yeah, he actually is going to be able to sustain versus this Ranger, probably more so than anyone else.
Oh, the taunt! The taunt does not cancel the heal, though. Unfortunately, got his heal, I think, just barely in the nick of time, but has literally nothing left. None of his respawns are coming towards him, so Smexy Cat Punch is going to be taken down here in a matter of seconds. Oh, man. Eternity should have stuck around just to get the extra kill. But actually, no, really good rotation, I have to say, because Mayhem came out for respawn, and he is there just in time. So actually, a very good rotation on Eternity's part. But over at the waterfall, we still got a fight going on. You know, Radioactive hanging on pretty well over here. I think it would be in eDream's best interest to piece out of this point and play the two sides, or the midpoint and that quarry point.
Yeah, they definitely did play this quarry point, as Mayhem right now is not looking too good. Hero definitely going to be able to manage to get this cap. I think he's going to be pulling off here, as Eternity's going to go ahead and stick around. Looks like Mayhem's going to have to waste a lot of time getting back into this. Basically, for all intents and purposes, being a kill here. Looks like they're going to go for the quarry node, though. As Smexy Cat Punch does come off a respawn, Eternity's going to have to hold this, as Hero is not even close right now, going over towards the waterfall. Looks like he might decide to double back, but he's just kind of in between points, not really sure where he wants to go. And he's going to opt to go back over towards that quarry node where Eternity already needs so much help. Coudnt, in the meantime, was taken out over on the waterfall. Burt going for the res here. So much cleave being dropped here, and they're able to secure that kill. And QT Burt is the only one left around here.
They should have gotten out of here long ago. They should have gotten out of here, but Burt does drop the portal, knows they're coming in there. Now they're going to be outnumbered, especially with Kenya still sitting over there. Burt's going to be in a 1v2 as a Mesmer at this midpoint against a Zerker Warrior and a support guard. He's not going to be able to put out a whole lot of damage. He is going to get hit with those Vampirins. Not able to get his mantra of recovery off. He's just porting around here trying to get away from Olrun. Gets it off in the nick of time. Going to get some support from Coudnt, though. Olrun hits him.
Not quickly enough. Looks like Burt is going to be taken down. That stomp is so quick from the big damage. That's going to be saved for them. And Coudnt's the only one on point, and he's forced off. So they get the decap there. And still, we're going to be seeing Eternity actually being taken down as well, as Red Team wins this one as well. Such a Hero right now is the only one left here. He's going to go back on the point, try to hold this off, but if he just makes the wrong move here, then he's going to be dropping that cap, and does so right there. He's going to be leaving. Mayhem going to be following him out. Smexy Cat Punch going to go for that full cap. Looks like this big fight over on the graveyard is what's going to be up next here, as we are going to be seeing pretty much everyone shift over to Such a Hero. Such a Hero is about 50% HP. Looks like they might actually go for Kenya instead, as Mayhem gets so far into it right now. Kenya at about 20% HP in that mist form there. 10% HP.
Man.
Does manage to get the heal somehow.
I think he should have.
He's going to try to get some support for him.
He needs some support now, and then he needs to pop that Elixir X, because look, the Radioactive already starting to build a decent lead right here. They're starting to build, collateral damage taken down, but that res almost instantly coming out there from Smexy Cat Punch. Mayhem takes down Kenya, if I'm not mistaken, and Eternity threw the banner down literally at the split second that he went down, and got him right back up. But Kenya back into the downstate. Once again, the 100 Blades from Mayhem, not going to allow for any res potential to come out from him. Now Eternity going to be in a 1v3 situation. This isn't looking too good for eDream about halfway through this game.
Yeah, and Eternity's already low here as well. It does have that shield to try to get some damage absorption there, but it's just not enough here, as he's just getting dropped so quickly by both of these warriors here. And that permanent pressure from those Guardians as well, that the stab cleave. I mean, it doesn't seem like much, but it's literally permanent. Them able to just click one spam and able to get that constant damage. It's almost like Condi's ticking freely all the time, and you can't really waste dodges on that at all.
Yeah,
Such a Hero is on the point.
Going for the Lord right now. They both will have Rampage. Maybe. Okay. Olrun collateral damage might not, but we do see Mayhem charging right through. No, he is not. Okay, he's not even going through. I think that pretty good move. Pretty good hold, I would have to say. They're not going to go through yet.
Collateral damage was taken pretty low, and I think that's the biggest reason why, was that he kind of told him to pull off there. Wasn't sure about his ability to actually get into that and actually stay alive. Didn't want to basically just kind of throw that fight for them, but he is going to be on the waterfall right now, just trying to sustain against this wall here. Is going to be able to get that empower heal from his teammate. That's going to put him at a pretty healthy margin of HP.
They're going for the Lord, though. We have Mayhem and the big damage at the Lord. Remember, he pops both stances, pops a Rampage. I think Couldnt's in the area, but he's pretty low. He's not going to be able to support that much. The Lord about 30-40% HP taken down. That will be game. Radioactive taking game number 2 in a very, very dominant fashion there. Not too surprised by that one, though, because
they're going to be moving forward against the Abjured here, who we just saw take it 2-0 against Spoookie. So both these teams looking pretty solid right now. This is actually a matchup we see quite often for the past couple of weeks, if not months. And this is definitely one to look forward to. They've been trying to make a couple of adjustments to make sure that they kind of fill a little bit of that point gap that they keep having versus the Abjured, but the Abjured has been able to answer every single time with just simple adjustments, like maybe just even one class swap, moving Toker over to the Engineer, but they've been doing a pretty good job so far, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I do want to mention, before we go into the break real quick, we do still have those giveaways going right now. Those are on Twitter. If you guys go down to right here-ish, and also over there, then we're going to have at CT Heurix is my Twitter, and we're going to have also at Game with Storm. Both of us are doing Twitter giveaways, so head over to our Twitter accounts. Make sure you follow us, or else you will not be eligible, and then also retweet those tweets as well. They're pretty clearly labeled. You guys should be able to do that. And make sure you guys, once again, follow. I saw a couple people not following, unfortunately, so make sure you follow first of all, and then get that retweet, and you'll be eligible for those giveaways. Second of all, we do have another giveaway coming at the end of the finals, the next matchup on Twitch here, so make sure you follow the Twitch account here at Guild Wars 2 to be eligible for that one as well.
Yeah, if you guys don't have Twitter accounts, they're fairly simple to make, only take a couple minutes, and you could get, 800 gems, maybe possibly 2 times, who knows, out of both of them, because we are both having individual giveaways, 800 gem codes. So if you don't have a Twitter account, I highly recommend doing it, because we'll have more of these in the future. Might as well, start now. Why not? So we're going to go on a short break, guys, and when we're back, we will have our final match ready for you guys. It will be Radioactive up against the Abjured. Stay tuned. Welcome back, everybody, to the ESL Weekly number 44. We have our final matchup ready for you guys. The Abjured up against Radioactive for how many weeks in a row now? 4 or 5, if not like 6 at the most. I know it's been quite some time since we have another matchup, but these guys always battle it out to the end. What are your thoughts on this one before we get into it?
Yeah, like you said, this is a very familiar matchup here, and they're making some changes. They do have that Sanctuary in play on the side of Radioactive, which is going to be interesting. But we're actually going to be seeing Toker on the Thief this time around, as opposed to the Engineer that he's been known to kind of pull out for this matchup. But definitely one to look forward to for sure. And I'm really excited about this one, as it is the final. So I expect both teams to play lights out for sure.
Yeah, definitely. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we've got for both these teams. The Abjured over here on the red, with Radioactive over on the blue. You want to take us away with their builds?
Absolutely, man. Toker right now on DP, still with Rune of the Vampires and Marauder Amulet, going to be taking up that Deadly Arts, Shadow Arts, Trickery setup. We do have Wakey up next with the Dagger Elementalist. He's going to be taking Rune of the Holbrack, of course, with Celestial Amulet, since he can't take the Vamp Runes right now, as they are bugged and banned from this tournament. Fire, Water, and Arcane Blinding Ashes set up there. Nas is going to take the Staff, Dagger Warhorn with the Rune of Strength, Celestial Amulet, of course, with Soul Reaping, Spite, and Curses. Chaith is up next with the Rifle build. He's going to be taking Soldier Amulet and Rune of Strength. Explosives, Alchemy, and Tools as his setup. And last, we do have Fanta Ramanam, and I did say that correctly, as he did ask specifically for me to. He wanted me to nail that one for him.
We both know you practiced that one.
I stood in front of the mirror this morning for about 4 or 5 hours trying to get that one right.
Probably.
But he's going to be playing Dagger Elemental with Rune of Strength, Celestial Amulet. He's going to be taking up Fire, Water, and Arcane Blinding Ashes setup, of course.
And taking a quick look at Radioactive over here, no damage. They'll be ready-made, playing the Staff Elliot with Monk Runes, Selly Amulet, taking Earth with Stoneheart, running Water and Arcane to complement that. Also taking that Glyph of Elementals. He likes to take that on this map, so watch out for that in 1v1 matchups. Mayhem, that will be Crisis, playing the first of 2 Warriors with the... Wow, he has changed up his build a little bit. He was running Axe Shield earlier. He's going to be running that Greatsword Hammer build with Pack Runes, Zerker Amulet, running Strength, Defense, and Discipline. Collateral Damage, that's going to be Ulrun. Going to be complementing him, running the Axe Shield with the Greatsword, Strength Runes, Zerker Amulet. He's going to be running Strength, Defense, and Discipline as well. And finally, the last 2 would be Guardians, Support Guardians. First up, we have the big damage, running the Staff. Looks like with that Mace Shield, running with the Mercy Runes, Selly Amulet, running Valor, Honor, and Virtues for himself. He is also taking Sanctuary. I do want to point that out. And finally, Smexy, Cat Punch, going to be Tesla. Going to be running basically the same exact thing. Actually, if I'm not mistaken, he is running the exact same weapon sets, the exact same. He's running Mercy Runes with that Celestial Amulet, as well as Valor, Honor, and Virtues for himself with Sanctuary. So, pretty identical builds coming out from these guys. A little bit change up from last week. Do you think it's going to be making a big difference for this Radioactive roster, though?
I'm not so sure. It's going to be interesting. They do have those Mercy Runes, of course, like you say, and It's pretty much just going to come down to if they're able to use these tools to keep their warriors up. I mean, the warriors are what do all the damage here, but they don't have Receive the Light. They don't have that quickness there, so going to be interesting to see what happens. I'm a huge fan of Sanctuary. It's a huge cooldown, though, so we're going to have to see if they make effective use out of that, but it could very well be the what basically pushes them and takes this game. I mean, no way to know for sure at this point.
Yeah, definitely. So we are going to have game number 1 underway here in this finals of the weekly number 44. Let's go ahead and take a look at what we've got for the opening splits. The Abjured looking to send 3 members through that beach node. It looks like both Wakey, or actually that's Fanaram, 5-gauge, and Toker moving through the beach, and Radioactive expecting it. We already have that line of warding coming down, as well as Ulrun already making an attempt to get on top of Fanaram, who ride the linings right past him, pops stability as well, and 5-gauge looking to make this a 2v2 over at the Henge node.
Yeah, Nasa is going to go ahead and get that free cap, move back over to the mid-fight very quickly, as Mayhem already at about 50% HP, and remember, they don't have as much support this time around. They do have that Sanctuary that they can drop, but that's about it in terms of direct support, as other than those direct staff skills and the Mace 2 and some regen and some dodge rolls. But other than that, they don't have that huge heal for coming from Receive the Light. They do take down Mayhem in the meantime, but the Sanctuary does get dropped. They are going to go for that res. They do get him back up. Phantom right now pretty low from that team fight where they did actually lose the Henge in that 2v2. Nas is stuck in that plague form, but looking back over at the keep fight still, Wakey right now on point. Get obliterated there.
The auto attacks from Mayhem are just proving to be too much for Wakey. Wakey has to piece out of that, and there's the full cap, the 2 cap at the start of this game for Radioactive. Really good opener for them. Taking a look over there at the Henge point. Collateral damage under a little bit of pressure. Look at the Condies ticking on him as Toker. Excellent rotations out of that mid-fight. Going to spike him into the downstate now. It looks like Ready Made is the only last standing member. We do have, looks like Smexy Cat Punch coming from the midpoint. Going to help support Ready Made, but is it going to be enough in this 2v3 situation?
Yeah, it looks like actually Toker right now at about 10% HP, but it doesn't look like anybody's going to be able to move over and try to take him out right now. Big damage still in the downstate. Does get finished off over on this mine, or on this key point here, as Mayhem is extremely low as well. 5-gauge going to look to go in for the kill here. Wakey's still there, and they're going to finish him off pretty soon here, and they're going to be able to turn this one back around. Looks like he is going to go for that stomp there. Is able to land it there. It looks like
we are going to see, despite that happening, we do see collateral damage coming out from Respawn, getting the free decap, possibly full cap. Actually, no. We're going to see 5-gauge go back to the mid node and Wakey take on the 1v1 against collateral damage at the mine point. Despite that, Smexy Cat Punch was taken down there by Toker. Now no damage. Is under a whole lot of pressure. Toker just sitting back afar. We do see that Sanctuary coming out from the big damage. Might help him out for a little bit here, but still, he's taken down. Not able to get that cleansing fire off there and cleanse those burns and other conditions. Now this is a 3v3 situation, but still, no damage in the downstate. Not really going to be good for them. Despite Smexy Cat Punch coming off a respawn, should be able to hold on to this for at least a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. No damage right now. Is going to get that full res back up into it. Toker very, very low at about, almost gets dropped there. Is able to stay alive, but only just barely there. Able to get back up into it with the heal going off. He's at about 50% HP. Still has a lot of stealth here. Looks like he's going to go for that damage over onto no damage here. The staff Ellie here ready made. Looks like pretty much everyone else is going to move over off towards the keep, where actually Wakey is going to go for the full cap on mine as well right now.
There's a little bit of a poor rotation, an over-rotation obviously coming out there, but Ready Made should be okay as the big damage is going to come help him out. There's the 2 cap coming out from the Abjured. Taking a look at the midpoint. Spicy Cat Puncher, a little bit of pressure. So is Mayhem, down about 40% HP. They get the decap though, that shield proving to be very useful for Smexy Cat Punch. Rampage ready for Mayhem, but he's so low, he should not pop it here. Has not, his, under 6k health right now. There is the Elixir X coming out there. I believe from no, it was actually the Moa that came out there from 5-gauge. He has Elixir X ready if he wants to. Taking down 2 members of Radioactive though.
So much,
yeah, so much
coming out here. Absolutely insane. Able to turn that one around. Phantom on the point right now versus the big damage. Big damage going to go for that res. Might actually get it unless Toker can come over here and provide enough. I don't know if it's going to be the case. The Guardians are back up into it here. Chase went back over as well. We do have Nos in the downstate here in between on the crossroads right now. Wakey able to get him back up with Toker with a great rotation there, and they're going to be able to take out Ulrun in the process as well. Looks like Nos going to move over towards the Henge, where he is going to get interrupted here by Mayhem. Mayhem going to go for that quick kill. Nos going to be able to get the plague though and stop that one. And
no
get a lot of pressure.
Oh, no damage. So close from getting that decap. There he gets the decap. Knocks off Wakey. Arguably one of the hardest knockbacks to land in the game. No damage. Gets it off. He's going to be in a 1v2 situation. Even with collateral damage in the downstate, Nos going for the decap over there at the henge point. It looks like Phantom kind of, getting low at the midpoint, forced off the point for the time being, but Radioactive is not out of this game. Do not count. I mean, they have a lead for that matter. This is arguably one of the best times we've seen Radioactive, one of the best games we've seen from them against the Abjured in quite some time thus far.
Yeah, I have to agree. We are going to be seeing Wakey push node damage off the node, and that is going to solidify that cap for them. They still do have that keep node. However, Toker is moving in on it right now, and I'm not sure if he's going to be able to take big damage out quickly enough. Looks like most of the fight actually is moving over towards the henge, where already we're seeing Phantom at about 50% HP and dropping slowly here. Collateral damage is in a similar state here as he is taking some pressure there as well. However, big damage right now. Look at this keep fight. Toker right now is finishing him off right now. Looks like the shelter is going to come off. He's going to be a little bit back up into it and able to keep Toker at bay a little bit with that staff line. But looking back over, actually looking at this right now, we can see Nos coming in for the +2. Probably didn't even need to do that, but he's going to go ahead and get that stomp, get the full cap as well, as we're going to see Toker going back over to this henge fight where Phantom needs his support now more than ever.
Yeah, and he's going to get help from Toker. Not going to support him, just going to come out and peel for him and almost take down Mayhem. Almost had Endure Pain ready, but not able to get that off. He's probably going to be stomped. Nice line of warding coming out from Tesla, but not going to solidify any res on his behalf. Still, the Abjured taking just their second 2-cap of the game. Radioactive looking really strong right now. They were, but not anymore. They're going to have 3 members in the downstate here, especially if the stomp comes out onto Smexy Cat Punch going in for the res. They do get it. They just need to regroup at this henge point, take out a member of the Abjured, or at least force them out and push, force a team fight at the midpoint or at the mine point and try and take the 2-cap, because this game is still anyone's to take.
Yeah, I have to completely agree here. It looks like Abjured are swinging a little bit here, and they're able to kind of control the fight where they really like to, right in those archways. Toker is going to go for that 1v1 versus no damage, but he knows he's not going to be able to get that quickly enough. The fight is going to move over towards the keep where Mayhem is already on the point. Doesn't look like anybody's going to be able to get there to stop the decap, and nobody makes it in time. Smexy Cat Punch is very low right here. He's probably going to be the first target, if not Olrun, who is now at about 60% HP. Phantom taking a big eviscerate there, though, and it looks like Toker is going to be taken out, and he's about 10% HP, and the cleave is huge right now on it.
Oh my god, 5-gauge taken down as well. Nos is in a heap of trouble. That rampage from Mayhem seemingly turned that fight around. It looked like you said Tesla was really low there. Nos getting so low. I mean, out of this death shot, he is hardly anything. Ready Made knows his respawns. He's going to go back to that henge point and defend it for himself. Nos so low right here. They get the 2-cap. Radioactive taking down Nos. Man, they are looking really strong right here.
Yeah, they definitely are. This is definitely the point where most of the time Abjured is going to be already kind of building up a commanding lead, and we're actually seeing blue team come back. They're going to actually be in the lead very shortly here. Just one more tick away, actually 2 ticks away, until they're taking a 1-point lead. Wakey's going to come in, trying for the res here. Looks like Big Damage going to get that stomp off, though. He's going to hold that versus Wakey. Wakey probably has the upper hand here, but we'll have to see how long he's able to hold this. Toker coming in as well. Going to look to drop the big damage in this fight right now. This is
nice
a 2v1.
Sanctuary, though. Really good use of that. He knows he has support coming in. That was an excellent, because he didn't want to be taken down too low right there. Really good use of that Sanctuary. Now has support coming out. There is the rampage from collateral damage. Gonna force Wakey.
So low already.
Oh, man.
That's the kind of plays from Sanctuary that I was really hoping for sure. I mean, getting a lot of that utility out is basically just like delaying Toker as well as a lot of these other players like Chase from being able to get down so much damage on top of them. It stops a lot of those projectiles as well. So Toker's grenade barrage is not going to be able to go through that as well, and they're going to be able to get the heals in the meantime as well. So it's great selection, in my opinion, for this matchup.
And Smexy Cat Punch has a Sanctuary up in about 5 seconds. This is arguably Radioactive's chance to take down the WTS champions and champions who have been in this ESL, victors for so long. The decap came out there from 5-gauge. Really, really nice knockbacks coming out there. If collateral damage taken down, this could be it. There's a Sanctuary coming out there. Are they able to get this res onto him? They do at the midpoint, though. Radiomade was actually taken into the downstate, got 1v2'd. I think that was a bit of an over-rotation coming out there at that home node for Radio. Oh, actually, Mayhem is over at the mine point with nobody, so not an over-rotation. They're just giving up the midpoint in favor of that mine point.
Yeah, and Wakey's going to come plus this. One of the biggest things I really want to make note of is that a bug was actually fixed recently where when you rally yourself or rally a teammate, which is what these Guardians are doing so often, your Virtue of Courage does come back up off of cooldown, so they're able to maintain so much stability, so much protection for their teammates, and able to keep that going so often. It's just absolutely insane, keeping their teammates in a position where they can continuously do damage over the course of a fight. Every time they get back up, stability right back at it, so they can secure the heal as well. It's just such a great trait to have actually working for real this time.
Yeah, and they are going to get a 2-cap. The Abjured, that is, they're trying to take down Nas, who isn't playing for him. Going to get support, but it looks like Toker and 5Gage know that mid might be a lost fight. They're going to go in plus. Readymade, who has Mayhem on respawn in about 15 seconds. Is he able to hold off for 15 seconds, though? And that's not even support. That's just damage on his behalf. This could be it. This could be the Abjured coming back into this game with this 2-cap. You know, not a huge lead for Radioactive, but it's not going to be lasting much longer, like you're saying. And we are going to see collateral damage coming off the midpoint, going for the decap once again at the mine point. Is it going to be enough? Like, oh, Readymade so close to dying.
I think he's going to be able to get it. I think he's going to be able to get this decap. It looks like that is going to be the case. Does nail it. They still have that keep over on the hinge. Unfortunately for them, though, they're able to get the teammate back up. Mayhem still in the down state. I'm not so sure that they're going to be able to actually get Mayhem back up.
Especially
I think they're going to leave him.
Oh, and look, coming off, I mean, collateral damage is forced at that mine point. Radioactive has to produce results over at that hinge point. They have to stay alive until collateral damage can get there or get respawns from Mayhem. I think they should be able to hold off. Obviously, we are going to see, it looks like Nas going for that spawner kill right now. He's going to take a 1v1 against it. That's going to give them a 25-point advantage, but no damage was taken down once again over here, despite getting rezzed earlier at the hinge point. Nas still going for that 1v1 against spawner. He might get help with Wakey. About 50% HP right now. I don't know. This is so close right here. This is anybody's game to take.
They're going to take that kill and get that lead. Right?
Not even a lead.
But
and we're going to have a 2-cap possibly coming out from Radioactive.
Definitely going to be able to get that 2-cap. Ooh, actually, I don't know about that. Blue team looks like they're going to be swinging this. They actually managed to get the cap on hinge. Everybody's moving over towards the keep, which is already in favor of the blue team. If Smexy Cat can hold this point for just a little bit here, he has the Sanctuary. Is he going to be able to hold this? Because this is everything for them.
Oh my god! They're going for Chieftain, though. Everybody's going for Chieftain. We see it looks like Mayhem is going to be trying to start it. 5Gage is in the area. So is Toker. That is not play in Radioactive's favor. He has Rampage, though. He could CC them out of that fight. They do not want to go for Chieftain right now. The 2-cap, 40 points away for Radioactive to take this game. Toker is on top of Chieftain. They know they need this to win. Could we see Spexy Cat punches dead at the midpoint, though?
The Rampage coming in.
Oh my god. Chieftain is about, still about 100% HP. 25 points away. Oh my god, could this happen?
Esports when the voice cracks come through, man.
It's esports.
481 right now. This is insane. Radioactive looks like they're in position to possibly take this game right now.
Oh my god!
Take this kill on Chieftain. It's not going to be enough.
Radioactive taking game number 1 over the Abjured. Oh my god. The first time an entire roster of the Abjured has been taken down by an NA team in 2015. Radioactive coming through in that game number 1. I am speechless.
I don't, everybody who's witnessing right now, I don't know why we don't have so much more viewers to witness this. This is huge. This is, like you say, the first time that the Abjured roster in North America tournaments has been able to be taken down.
Oh my god.
In 2015. I mean, we've seen it, I think, twice now where the Abjured has dropped a game, but it's never been their full roster. It's maybe once or twice, but that is absolutely insane. Obviously, with the Vamp runes kind of being taken away, Fanaram not really making good use out of that most of the time because he's actually using Straith more often than not. But Wakey, I do believe, did use those Vamp runes, and of course, he's not able to get the full use out of those anymore, as opposed to what he was doing last week, I think, where he was able to get the 80% downstate HP from that Vamp rune whenever he goes into Vapor. But that's absolutely insane. They're able to turn that back around. What do you think is going to happen in this next matchup? Because the last one, Radioactive's up 1-0. If you're going to ever beat the Abjured, you take it on that map, on Forest, and they did it for the first time that I've ever seen on stream.
I don't know how the camera work is going to be this second game because my hands are shaking after that one, guys. That was the game of the year on NA servers. I don't even know how to describe that. That it was just, that was insane on Radioactive's behalf to not, you know, be succumb to that 2-cap of the Abjured that then they'll go into your home node, they'll wipe you, take a 3-cap and take the game away from there. I am just appalled how well they came together in that game, and despite the Abjured coming back time after time, Radioactive pulling through for, again, the first ever time in 2015, the first time since the Absurd played in ESLs, the entire roster of the Abjured was taken down there by Radioactive. Now last week, or a couple weeks, was it last week or a couple weeks ago, E-Dream took them down in what was described as a fluke, because they did have Backpack trolling around with some different builds apparently, but that was one game. But Radioactive taking down all 5 members of the Abjured and going back into this game. Florida Boy Dustin moving over to this NG. Oh man, what a game.
Absolutely, and I already cannot wait for this next matchup. I believe we're waiting on one more person, but I do want to reiterate one more time, guys, that everybody that's watching, make sure you head over to our Twitter that you can see right below our name, or right below our cameras here, CT Heurix, as well as Game with Storm. Head over there, follow us on Twitter, retweet our latest tweet there that is going to enter you for a chance to win some gems. Make sure you go for both of them, because that is a double giveaway. You're going to be able to have double the chance to win, and we're also going to have another giveaway after this setup here, after this matchup, this set. And no matter what happens, we will have that giveaway. But I am absolutely ecstatic for this next matchup. This is going to be crazy here. We do see Toker going for that engineer there. Going to switch over to Florida Boy Dustin. And they're going to go for that double NG play. It looks like we're going to see Wakey coming back in also. But we do have Tesla coming in. That's going to be his other Guardian build, perhaps. But it doesn't look like there's going to be any changes. Oh, he is going to opt for Radiance here. He is going to be opting for that Amplified Wrath. Going for a little bit more burn damage. Still has... actually swapping over to the Carrion with the Scepter. He's actually making this into a little bit of a burn guard here, it looks like. Trying for yet another hybrid, perhaps? Or is he just chaining everything out entirely, going straight to burn guard?
I don't know. Maybe he's not done changing things. We'll have to see. But, you know, while we wait to actually see what these guys are running, because we know people like to change things up, we'll have to take a look at the very start of the game. But
he's going straight burn guard.
This is just... I'm just appalled by that last game. I can't... That was just incredible from Radioactive. You got to give them credit for 100% of that game. That was incredible. Excellent rotations from the Warriors over to that mine point. From they were getting outnumbered at home, getting outnumbered at mid. One of the Warriors pieced off to that side point. Time after time, got the decap. That really is what I think is one of the highlights of that game. Excellent rotations and team fights as a whole from Radioactive. And man, taking a look at Legacy, a couple of build swaps, like you were saying, is Dustin over on that NG now, switching to that Rifle Soldier runes, and Tesla going to what looks like a Burn Guard, or kind of a hybrid, not exactly sure thus far. What can we expect from this game? Do you think we can expect how hyped that, that last game was so crazy? Do you think we can expect the same from this one?
I think we can expect something similar. I'm just not quite sure about the Burn Guard swap. That's something I'm not totally behind here, as Nos could definitely turn that one completely around. Just walk in and out of those Purging Flames and then just transfer those conditions back. It needs to be very, very careful there. And I'm not 100% behind this, but we'll see what happens, I guess, is what I'll say.
Yeah, and I don't know. Because Nos knows that something's up right here. I guarantee he knows. They're thinking, okay, Tesla isn't on his same Guardian. He swapped over. Maybe it's a different build. Right? So perhaps they're wondering what he's running right now. And they'll know very shortly if they don't know what he's running already. And Nos is going to be all over that. It's going to be on top of Tesla to make sure not only that he doesn't focus Nos, because Nos is going to transfer those right back to him. That's going to be hard. The big damage really needs to be on top of Tesla over even the Warriors, I would say, because Tesla can be taken out just like that.
We are only a couple of readies away to going into Game 2 here. And this is a big one. I mean, we're already seeing the big damage say that we're not even going to go into Game 3. They think that they're going to go straight into this 2-0 against the Abjured, the world champions from the World Tournament Series. That's Season 1 there. I'm not so sure, but we're definitely about to find out in just a matter of time here.
All right, so what are you thinking for this one? Do you think we're going to a map number 3? Or do you think we're going to be having
I think we're going to see a map number 3. The Abjured are so good on this matchup with this map here, of course, and with Dustin moving back over to that NG, I think this is a little bit better for them. He's going to be able to have a little bit more team fight potential, but still,
the match starts soon.
I'm not so sure, and especially with Tesla moving over to the burn guard, I just don't know. But we'll see what happens. I mean, could go either way at this point, but I think that Abjured are going to take this one.
Okay, all right, let's get back into the into how things work here. Just kind of calm ourselves down, or at least I need to calm myself down here. Take a look at the opening splits. Oh, Radioactive sending 5 out of the gate. The Abjured going to be sending 3 over, expecting to crash down on somebody. A 0-1-4 coming out for Radioactive. Very odd split indeed. What are your thoughts on this? And the Abjured going to send 3 members over to the waterfall and kind of be surprised to see no one's there.
I like this startup for them a whole lot more than the other ones. We saw this in the last matchup where they sent 4. Actually, typically we see them go 4 over towards the towards their home, but they're just going for that quarry. I like that a lot more for them. No damage, however, is taking so much heat right now at about 10% HP. They're just putting so much AoE pressure down on top of them, and he's going to be taken out here. Is in the downstate. Tesla right now at about 60% as well, but there's so many burns coming out onto Wakey. Wakey taken down as well there as Mayhem just drops him. Who's going to win this clean fight as no damage comes back up and into it? Wakey still in downstate. Tesla going to finish this one off. Blue team already with a kill.
And that's even despite Mayhem wasting his entire Rampage. He was holding FGS with Rampage, dropped FGS, and no longer had Rampage. That was what Crisis just did. 5 gauge popping. It looked like that was Elixir X there. They've already popped them both, so really not able to do a whole lot with that. Collateral damage taken into the downstate there. Not sure if he's going to get back up into this one. The big damage popping that. Quake going in for the res with no damage will be enough, though. So much cleave coming out for the Abjured. Boy Dustin under a lot of pressure as well. Looks like Mayhem will be taken out as in this fight, and the Abjured going to be cleaning up this mid fight despite an early kill.
Yeah, they're definitely swinging this one around. Tesla gets stomped out. Mayhem is going to get bled out probably here as he goes ahead and goes out as well. Big damage in the downstate. This is a huge turnaround for the Abjured here. The Abjured, or sorry, the Radioactive team just got a little bit too overzealous here, and they're going to be in a situation now where I expect to see the Abjured get a 3 cap and hold it for a long time.
Yeah, and the rest of Radioactive coming out of the gate here. It looks like we're going to have collateral damage coming over here a little too late because Readymade is already in the downstate. He's going to be in a 1v3 situation. This is a very bad spot. There is probably no worse spot that Olrun could be in right now, honestly, because he's got 3 members. Making use of that terrain, though, Olrun is going to hopscotch his way out of that fight and get back to his base. You got to give credit to Olrun on that one. Jumping puzzle king right there. Must have had a lot of practice in that PvE zone, but take a look at the waterfall. What's going on there?
Yeah, we're already seeing Boy Dustin taken pretty low here, about 30% HP. They're going to follow him up. He did have a little bit of burns on him, but was able to get out of there. He did have Elixir S pop through his Elixir X. Did have the Rampage, so unfortunately for him, he's not going to be able to make good use out of that. However, in the meantime, Phantom extremely low here. Mayhem dropped to about 20% HP. So many condies on him. Does get put into mower form as well. Doesn't have the support from his teammates this time around. They're going to go for that res. Do actually manage to get it, and they're going to turn the pressure down onto Phantom. Phantom at about 20% HP has to pull out. Boy Dustin in a similar state here is almost in a position to get that cap. Mayhem still in the downstate though. They're going to be able to get that kill and turn this back around here. That's a great pickup for them, but Nas in the meantime did get downstated here, and it looks like Olrun almost, oh no, he went for that stomp, but he did, Nas did get stealthed up from his teammate there and was able to get back into it. Big damage going to be taken out as well. This is a huge swing once again for the Abjured. They're going to be able to take this.
I just don't know. I don't know. Olrun is so low right now. He's probably going to be taken down there. Yes, Phantom going to be on top of him, going to take him into the downstate. Has that stab stomp pretty easily there. The Abjured just reigning supreme after an extremely first game. This is absolutely not what we expected. Maybe some people did because, this is the Abjured's best map, hands down. Their most dominant maps, and they are definitely proving it. I don't know if it had anything to do with the comp or perhaps, Radioactive already thinking about what they're going to do on game number 3 because we haven't seen Radioactive and the Abjured ever play on Kylo in the NA ESL.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be an interesting matchup right now. We are seeing Nas go for the stomp here on no damage. This is looking pretty solidly in Abjurd's favor here. Looks like Olrun's going to try to get onto this point, but there's just so much Condi cleave that's going to be put down on him right now. He does have that Berserker stance. Looks like he's going to go ahead and remove himself from that situation. Looking over at the quarry node, however, Mayhem right now in a 1v2. He's going to be taken out right now, put into the downstate. they're just not playing the same game that they were
Red team
before, and I don't
wins
know
a
why
capture
they made
point.
those adjustments when they did so well in the last game. I think they were trying to answer the swap from Florida Boy Dustin over there, going over to his NG as opposed from the Thief.
Yeah.
But
Did you
I'm
see
not so
that?
sure about it. I think
Red
they do
team
so
got
much
a
better
capture
with the
point.
full support cleat as opposed to putting in a burn guard that's really not accomplishing as much as I think they think it is.
But if you think about it on Kylo, wouldn't you think that it would help the Abjured if Dustin, if Toker went back to Thief, because Thieves are so good on Kylo, so good for the vertical, mobility that Thieves have, and I think if he goes back to Thief, we could see Radioactive go back to their normal setup. So there's kind of trade-offs on what Toker plays on Kylo if they do in fact win this game number 2, and it's looking like they probably can do so very soon here.
Yeah, Fanaram is in Vapor here. We are seeing GGs being called right now. Boy Dustin going for that res on Fanaram. Looks like this is going to be the game, probably. Boy Dustin right now very low. Looks like he was forced to pull off. Fanaram going to be killed off, but not so sure if we're going to be seeing the GG. It looks like we are going to be having that official.
Yes, they would like for it to end. So it looks like game number 2 going to be ended here and go in favor of the Abjured quite convincingly, with 35 points in Radioactive's favor. Already think about what they want to do on match number 3, though. Like you said, what are some of the trade-offs you think we can expect if,
Red team wins a capture
between the
point.
Thief and the NG for Toker?
I think that he's probably going to stay NG, but I know he's very comfortable on that map with his Thief. I think you and I would expect him to go to Thief. We'll have to see what happens. Looks like he is staying on Thief staying on NG right now. I'm not seeing any changes. I think he's kind of sticking around to make sure that there aren't any adjustments made on the side of this blue team Radioactive here. To kind of make that decision. We are going to be seeing actually probably a lot of swaps, as we saw a lot of people kind of pull out. Tesla still on his burn guard setup here. I'm not so sure if he's going to make that swap back over to the support. I would personally like to see it. However, he does have that mobility as a burn guard, and he's able to get back onto that point, provide a lot of damage. But Nos, with that Selly Signet Necro, it's just running that burn guard is so deadly to your team in some stages where he can potentially put on something like 12 stacks of burn onto himself, even more so than that if he kind of times it very well, and just throw it onto someone random, perhaps Mayhem, perhaps Ulrun, and that's going to pretty much solidify a kill on those warriors, so he needs to be very, very careful in those situations.
Yeah, it looks like Dustin going to be sticking onto that NG, so they will not, they still have 2 DDLEs, so they still have quite a bit of vertical mobility, and Nas going to be swapping to Fleshworms, so he's going to have that for himself as well, which is something, Radioactive really lacks on this map. Readymade is the only person that can move vertically with that lightning flash, and I think that could definitely hurt them in the end. But obviously, so much mobility as a whole with warriors that it could make up for the lack of that, and we'll have to see because rotations definitely are a huge thing on this map in particular, and it could really hurt Radioactive in the end. Anyhow, now it's tied up 1-1. Who are you picking to take home the first place prize, Heurix?
I think it would be unintelligent to go with anything other than the Abjured, but just for the sake of hype, I'm hoping for a close game, and perhaps maybe even a topple of a giant. We'll have to see what happens, but I think it would be unintelligent not to say the Abjured.
I do want to retract my previous statement. If Tesla does stick to this burn guard, he will have JI and of course, Flashing Blade there. To get up to people in Clock Tower and have some vertical mobility. So if it was running his normal build with the big damage, they would still be lacking some of that. But I honestly kind of like this build choice on this map in particular. It looks like he's going to be sticking to burn guard though. No, he's running. Looks like he's running kind of a hybrid with the Scepter Torch, with the Great Sword or the Sword. No, okay, I thought that was a Great Sword for some reason. Scepter Torch, Sword Torch. I'm very confused what he's going for here.
I'm not really seeing any hybrid builds here. We're seeing
it looks
Celestial.
like he's still changing stuff up from Tesla. Looks like he's still changing some stuff up. So we'll have to wait and see what he's going to run in the end.
We are seeing a little bit of a change from the big damage as well, going Sully, and he's going to be going for that Staff Mace Shield still, but Rune of Mercy, but he's opting for that Sully there, and he's going to stick with that, looks like. So getting some extra HP there. Does have Purging Flames as well as Sanctuary still. for himself. So we'll have to see kind of what happens, as they do have those double purges, and both of those guys are Selly, so they're going to have a little bit of Condi damage applied as well. So Abjured will have to look out for that. But even still, Nas will be able to turn those potentially. If they, I mean, if they get into a situation where both purges go down, Nas walks in and out of them, and then just throws the Plague Signet at any one of those warriors, pretty much any one of those players in general. That's going to be almost an instant burn kill, in my opinion.
All right, so it looks like Tesla is going back to his build that he was running on Forest. Yep, looks like he will be doing that. Toker going to be sticking to the same thing as well that he was running on the last map, thinking that that might do the trick once again.
They are opting for that Celestial Amulet, though, as opposed to the Cleric that they were running before.
No, they were running Celestial before on map number 1. Both of the Guardians were, if I'm not mistaken. Anyhow. Yeah, it looks like they're going to be running the same things they were before. So, Sanctuary on this map is very, very obviously useful at Clock Tower. That is a very nice thing to have. Easy decaps. So watch out for that. Double decaps, or a double Sanctuary rather, coming out from this Radioactive roster here. I think that could be really good on this map. And we'll have to see. It's game number 3 for the first time in a long time happening in a finals. Let's take a look at the opening splits for both of these teams here. Let's see what we have on our first Kylo map of the finals in 2015 on North American servers. 5 gauge going to that windmill node. Looks like 2 going to the mansion for Radioactive. Looks like collateral damage just going straight through to make sure nobody is crossing. What else do we got going on here, Heurix?
I suspect a huge fight over on this Clock Tower. It looks like Abjured are being pretty aggressive over onto the far side here. We are going to be seeing a little bit of a 3v1 onto, I believe, Wakey here on the Clock Tower. However, onto this mansion node, I believe it is. Mansion right here, we are going to be seeing Ready-Made at about 40% HP, dropping a little bit here. Nos taking some pressure as well. Ready-Made taken down already, though. And it looks like Abjured are going to solidify this kill. They already have the point over at Windmill there, so Nos is going to solidify this cap, and they're going to move over into this Clock Tower where already Tesla's at 50% HP. They're doing great all over the map already with a commanding lead, but we are going to be seeing a 4-man push into Clock Tower from this blue team, and we do have the support from that double Guardian there, so is it going to be enough to keep them into this? Wakey right now at about 30% HP, Florida Boy Dustin taking some pressure as well. We are seeing some rampages come out. Phantom Ram taken down to about 800 HP, does get clobbered down in the downstate here. They're going to go for some cleave here, and they're going to go for that kill. They do manage to get.
Yeah, Ready-Made actually going for the decap, trying to get 5 gauge. We'll have to see if 5 gauge. Excuse me, that was it. Yeah, the 5 gauge might be able to elixir us through it. He's not going to. Good decap coming out from Ready-Made there. Going to make sure they're not at too big of a disadvantage. He's going to get help from Mayhem. Knowing there's a respawn, Mayhem can't afford to do this, but it looks like Phantom he's going out the main gate, going to come back to this windmill. We could see a 2-cap coming out here for Radioactive, despite a very, very big push, it looks like, coming at both these nodes for the Abjured.
Yeah, absolutely. Looks like they're going to make a little bit of a comeback. Like you say, Phantom Ram going to move back into that mid-fight. We do still see the Guardians supporting each other so well, holding off these 3-man fronts, 4-man fronts here. Tesla right now probably going to be taken into the downstate here. We're going to be seeing what it looks like a pretty easy rest for the blue team, able to get him back up. And look at their health bars already.
And the decap, though. The decap came out from Run once again. We saw this on the first map. Really, really good awareness coming out from Radioactive on getting that decap. And what looked like a extremely strong opening for the Abjured, and possibly, opening up to 100, 150 point lead, has been very, Radioactive dealt with it really well.
Yeah, absolutely. And they're going to make that comeback happen right now. They're on this windmill node right now, trying to hold on to it here. We see a little bit, we see Wakey actually grabbing that mansion for free, so they're going to be back up into this, and we do still see Run in the downstate after he did manage to get that decap, which is a good move on his part, in my opinion. We still have that 1v1 between Ready-Made and Phantom Ram. Chase going to try to come over, and plus this Mayhem coming over, though. Chase needs to be extremely careful. He's at about 20% HP. Looks like he's going to pull off, though, and he's going to get out of there. Good move on his part. They're going to try to 2v1 onto Phantom Ram in the meantime. And if they're able to get some damage down into him, put him onto the back foot, they might be able to get something out of this. Dustin right now, as well as Nos, going to be moving over for this +2. So they're going to have 4-man front onto Ready-Made. They already take Ready-Made down. Mayhem not in a position where he can get anything out of this. I don't think
Tesla's
that
coming
he's gonna
though, but
be able to
he has Rampage in about 10 seconds. He should have let Tesla get on this point, not taking any pressure whatsoever. Waited possibly. There's a good Sanctuary coming out there. I'm not so sure. Are they going to get ready? If they get ready, man, oh my god, back up to 100% HP. Incredible res coming out there from Radioactive. And Mayhem has Rampage. Watch this. It's coming out in a second, no doubt. Actually, no, he probably shouldn't pop it because all the Abjured are piecing back to the midpoint. Really good move from them, I would have to say. Nas is going to use that Flesh Worm to get back on top of collateral damage. Left alone in a 1v3 situation is Florida Boy Dustin coming over to this point. He needs support immediately.
He needs it, yeah, exactly. He needs it right now. Cloud damage getting taken down to about 10% HP. Does have resistance for a little bit, but that's not going to save him for too much longer. There's only 2 seconds left on that. They do take him out, and it looks like they're going for the Plague Stomp. Nas going to land it. Does manage to get it. Tesla taken down as well. Big damage.
There's a Rampage though. Look at Toker. Oh man, he is going to be taking down a 3-man wipe, possibly a 4-man wipe. The Abjured cleaning up shop. A 4-man wipe for this Abjured team. Going to take out 4 of them. Now the Abjured are going to look like play 3 nodes regardless. They know there's respawns. Looks like Wakey's going back to that mansion node, but they might actually regroup over here at the windmill because that's their only node. Ready Made is going to be in a 1v3 situation. This is going to be a tough one for him to deal with.
Absolutely here. Collateral damage looking like he's trying to figure out where to go. In the meantime, we are going to be seeing Clock Tower taken by the Abjured. They're going to be climbing back up into this and maybe take a lead back, but we'll have to see. We do have that 1v1 between Chase and Ulrun. Ulrun already in a state where he could potentially lose this, as Chase just absolutely decimated him there with the grenade barrage burst. And it looks like Ulrun is forced to pull off. In the meantime, we are also going to be seeing Abjured take that kill off on Ready Made and take the windmill point as well. So this is a 3-cap situation here in favor of the Abjured. The Abjured definitely going to be coming back into this. The clock tower fight is potentially everything here, as Ulrun extremely low in this fight. Mayhem as well, very low. They don't have Rampage right now.
Collateral damage has Rampage if he wants to use it, but I'm not so sure. He's about under 50% HP. I don't think it's wise for him to do it yet. Look at the Condies on Ulrun right now. Going to pop that heal, get some resistance. Is it the right time for him to pop the Rampage? That could clean up the fight as Mayhem was taken in downstate. Look at the health boost for the Abjured. 5 gauge about to go down. Nas about to go down as well. He ports from his Flesh Worm outside of the window there, and it looks like 5 gauge is going to piece out a little bit as well. Florida Boy Dustin gets out of the node. We do see Ready Made going for a decap over there at the windmill. I'm not so sure he's going to get it though, and the Abjured starting to build a commanding lead now.
Yeah, it's going to come down to basically what this blue team Radioactive is able to do coming out of that team fight. I mean, they did very well with it. If they're able to follow up with some kills here, as Florida Boy Dustin is extremely low, but he's going to be healed back up in about 10 seconds. He does have his stealth up. 5 gauge right now, very low as well. Ulrun, very low. If they lose Ulrun, this is very bad, but they're probably going to be able to get this this res, which of course is going to reset both of their virtues of courage. So they're back up into it. That's huge. They're already getting them back up to 100% health, but this fight's going to move all the way over here, over into the windmill, where already we're seeing a little bit of 2v2. Florida Boy Dustin moving in for the +1. He's at about 60% health though.
This is a 4v2. Radioactive, what are you doing? You need to get your stuff together right now. They're 4v2ing right over here. 4v3 now that we do see a plus. There is the Rampage from Mayhem. He could turn it around, but Florida Boy Dustin also got Rampage. Actually, no, that was 5 gauge. I got Rampage there. And this is a pretty still
coming up from Tesla pretty shortly, but he's getting pressured hard right now. Doesn't have any cooldown. He's going to be taken out. 5 gauge does have the pressure with that Rampage. No one in a spot right now. They are forced to pull off here. They did manage to get that decap on the mansion there with Ulrun able to get that. Looks like the big damage is moving in there as Ulrun right now probably going to be taken out as Nas finishes it. Looks like he's going to try to go for a stop with the Plague, but gets pushed off right before he gets it.
Wow.
What timing. That's extremely unfortunate for them, but he's just going to delay that one. Still doesn't have the cap in the meantime, so this is probably just going to be a pretty long 1v1. I expect Ulrun to unfortunately lose this for Radioactive, and Nas is going to win this for sure. Going to clean that one up. Looks like Big Damage going to move back in, so is Nas going to be able to finish this off? Not so sure. Big Damage going to go for the Sanctuary and get the push off as well. Not so sure if he's going to be able to get the full res as 5 gauge coming in as well. The grenade barrage goes straight into the Sanctuary, saving a lot of that burst damage, but Big Damage with that Moa there from the Toss Elixir X, probably going to be going down pretty shortly as well with his teammate.
I don't know. At this point in time, I don't know if the Dream's dead because of the fact that they had, a very strong opening for the Abjured, but then Radioactive came back into it. But once that 4-man wipe hit, That it just crumbled from then on out. And now we see over a 125-point lead for the Abjured right now. I just don't see them, Radioactive, pulling it off. Maybe another day. I don't see it happening in this matchup.
We haven't seen a series this close against the Abjured and NA for probably about 39 weeks. I mean, we have not seen a display like this in so long. I mean, every week it seems like it gets a little bit closer, but I think the results here show for themselves. I mean, this is the closest we've seen in a long time. Tesla taking down the Abjured, still with such a commanding presence despite losing that first round, still doing so well in these later games here. They were kind of falling apart a little bit at the beginning here, but still in the second half, as Abjured always does, comes back, holds these fights all the time, and controls these caps, and does such a good job in these second halves of every single game, and that's pretty much been the story here.
Renegade about to be taken out, Mayhem about to be taken out as well from that Elixir X coming out with the Rampage on 5 gauge. He is going to be taken down there. The big damage, trying to go for the res. Will it be enough? There's so much cleave. He is stomped out there. Only 30 points away from victory for the Abjured, looking like they will be taking home the weekly number 44, but not without dropping a game nonetheless against this Radioactive team who, like you said, getting closer and closer every week, but I feel they took a huge step from last week. I don't think they got that close last week, but coming in and taking a victory off them, you know, forcing it to a game number 3. Pretty good games on their part.
Absolutely, and that is going to be the game of Abjured taking it 2-1 over Radioactive here in this final matchup. What a great setup. What a great match for us to watch today. I'm so excited to see what teams were able to do. I mean, we saw before with Spoookie able to get a pretty good lead there on the Forest. We saw perhaps notions of the Abjured kind of cracking a little bit, and then Radioactive coming in and taking that game 1. Definitely really exciting matches for sure. And I do want to say, once again, we do have 3 giveaways going right now. 2 of them are on Twitter. This last one, while we talk, I do want to explain this last one. This one will be on Twitch. Right now, what I want everyone to do is go ahead and type into the chat hashtag OCT23. That's October 23rd. Hashtag OCT23. Into the chat. Do that right now, and you guys will be eligible for this final giveaway. Once again, the first 2 giveaways are going to be on Twitter. Head over to our Twitter accounts located below at CT Heurix as well as at GameWithStorm. Head over there and then follow us. Make sure you follow us. I want to iterate that as many times as I possibly can. Follow us on Twitter, else you won't be eligible for that giveaway, and then retweet those top tweets there that mention the giveaway. Make sure you guys do that right now.
Remember, these are 2 different giveaways here, so we've got 3 going on right now. We've got one from my Twitter, one for his Twitter, and one in the chat, hashtag OCT23. So participate in all these, guys. We are going to have more like this in the future on Twitter, so you might as well make a Twitter account. If you don't have one, go ahead and get that taken care of now, because that's that many more chances to win gems in the future. Why not give it a shot? It's pretty simple. Twitter.com for those of you that don't know what Twitter is, but I'm sure you do by this time. But how are those going to play out in the coming minutes here?
Yeah, we're going to be doing the Twitter giveaways. They'll be done end of day. We'll be going ahead and announcing the winners on our Twitter accounts. So once again, make sure you're following so that you can receive those. I don't even know what you would want to call them, at whatever your name is, whatever the direct tweets.
Your Twitter handle.
Yeah, the direct tweets, whatever you want to call it. We'll also DM you just to make sure that you get that. So make sure once again you guys follow so that you can do that. And this giveaway, I'm going to go ahead and roll this pretty soon here. I'm waiting for us to get over 300 people in this. So make sure once again you type in hashtag OCT23. Make sure it's in all caps. First of all, hashtag OCT23 all caps.
Let's go ahead and a little bit of post-game analysis while we wait for that. You know, that was, you got to hand it to Radioactive. Taking a single game off the Abjured. They're looking so strong. Can't wait to see them back at it next week. If they're able to make it past, you know, maybe they'll go up against Spoookie, maybe E-Dream again. And, you know, those teams look pretty strong today as well. So I'm really excited for next week already. And wondering what we can expect from that. Any last thoughts on that match that we just had?
I mean, I'm excited about the future here. I mean, of course, we have the Abjured doing so well for so long, and we also saw Radioactive do so well today. E-Dream coming out of nowhere, doing so well as well. Spoookie coming back into it with a sub, still doing so well with Beyond, who has never been in the ESL tournament, at least as far as I'm aware, but still doing a great job with him subbing in, and that's their second ESL in I think a month and a half or something, so they're even new. Good Fights coming back with 3 of their 5 members, which with Don't Touch Me there, I believe, is their team name, and they're coming back. We have so many great teams sitting around in NA right now that I think the competition is about to get real intense. And on top of that, we do have that play for free setup coming. I mean, if this is a great time to be involved with PvP right now.
It really is. It's going to drive the community. I'm really excited about that. But I believe, have we hit that threshold? Have we hit 300 yet for that giveaway?
We are at 300 right now, so I am going to go ahead and roll this right now. Make sure, once again, you guys are following this. You should be at this point, but this you should be following for this one. I'm going to go ahead and roll it right now. And the winner is going to be Aether53. Congratulations, you are the winner. Nice little panda thing there. He is following, so congratulations to Aether53. I'm going to go ahead and put your name into the chat there. Aether53 did win that right there, so congratulations. Storm put it in as well, so make sure you send us a message, but I will send you a message on Twitch. Make sure you check your other box as well, and I will go ahead and send you that gem code as well. But once again, I do want to say before we head out, once again, those Twitter giveaways are still going. Make sure you follow us on Twitter. Make sure you retweet that top tweet mentioning the giveaway, and you will be eligible because we do have 2 giveaways there as well. One from my Twitter, one from Storm's Twitter. Make sure you guys get in there. Sorry for the rig. Oh boy.
Anyhow, guys, you all know about the giveaways now, so go ahead and take care of that right now because that won't be going on for too much longer. So anyhow, I do want to again thank you all for tuning in today. If you guys have social media, obviously you've heard Heurix and I tell you our Twitter handles quite some time now. But take a look at ESLs. You can follow them on Facebook at facebook.com/ESLGW2 and over at Twitter at ESLGW2 for updates on the ESL Guild Wars 2 tournaments. If you guys are interested in playing in these tournaments, you can. Just need to be heading over to play.eslgaming.com/guildwars2 to be a part of that and see what it's all about in the ESL scene. But other than that, guys, congrats again to the Abjured taking home first place and Radioactive for making it a fun one today, taking home second place. I believe that is all from us tonight. We will hopefully see you next week for the ESL Weekly number 45. Again, thank you all for tuning in, and we will see you then. Have a good night.